All right, we're gonna start now. Hello?
Hello?
Hi.
Hello.
We're starting now.
Okay.
Hey.
Hey. So, who would like to introduce themselves first? I'm obviously Uncle Dane, and then let's just go from the top. Agro.
Hello, everybody. My name is Agro. I'm representing today the wondrous world of Critscast, the Team Fortress 2 podcast.
Wow. I'm Freddie.
Hi, Freddie. And then
Can't follow up against that. It's impossible.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Jewlander. I'm a regular boy. I like to play this video game. Let's talk about this video game.
Yeah.
Yay!
That's pretty much what we're here to do.
Yay.
Is just talk about what we've seen so far from the Jungle Inferno update. I have the Jungle Inferno update page up on my screen. I'm sure you guys can go and watch the stream. It's a bit of a delay, but I mean, you can see what we're talking about exactly. But I'm gonna just go down from day 1 to day 2, just straight down the list, and we can talk about what we think about each individual thing.
How
Sounds
exciting!
good. Let's do it.
All right, so obviously the first thing that we notice right away is that, I mean, I don't know if you guys noticed it, but I did, is that this update page is animated, which I think is pretty fucking awesome.
What?
Yeah,
I know, right?
all of the other update pages aren't animated, but this one's like got a looping like fire animation and like the smoke in the background. I don't know, it just makes it look really.
It's
The
actually
leaves are rustling too. Actually, if you look closely.
It's
Oh, yeah.
it's a WM thing. A webum? It's a webum.
It's actually super sick.
Oh, Webum.
It does look really cool. That was probably the first thing I noticed too.
Yeah.
It's pretty sick.
Probably added a few months to the time.
I know.
Yeah.
I mean, right away I was just like, this isn't your typical update, right, when I
Yeah.
saw it. But anyway,
Cannot release updates.
yeah,
Have to do webum.
kind of a minor thing, but still, I noticed it. Somebody had to do that. There was some guy up, who went above and beyond for that. That's pretty cool. People think
Good
that
job,
this.
that's okay.
People think Scotcha just brought it up in chat, which Scotcha, you can hop
Oh, hi,
in here.
Scotcha.
You can hop in here anytime. I don't know if you're available, but I mean, feel free. But
He said he's being a dad today.
oh, okay, understandable.
For the day.
Yeah, just the one day that he's able to be a dad is today. So I understand that he's taking the day off for that. But people are speculating that on day 4 that the volcanoes are like gonna erupt or something. I think
That'd be pretty neat.
That's
I'd like to see it
a
yeah.
good
do that.
'Cause
No,
it's
I'm not seeing
bubbling
any
a
more
little bit.
progress though every day.
Yeah, exactly.
Good
You'd
speculation.
expect like it would start like leaking a little bit out of the top or something on day 2,
Maybe
but
on the
that's not
third
the
day.
case. Yeah, maybe. We're gonna have to
So,
find out today.
here's
Which
my
today we're gonna get
prediction,
the day 3, so that's pretty exciting. What's your
I
prediction?
think it's gonna erupt. I think, on day 4 it erupts, and then a molten rock flies out of it, lands next to the day 4 rock, and on it you can read day 5. It's an extra day to the update.
I would be
And-
very surprised if that were the case.
Now that
Actually,
you say that, I'm going to be hugely disappointed if that doesn't happen, because that would be the best way of doing it.
yeah, that would be insane.
Sure, we'd all love that to be honest.
Yeah.
Here we got a new boy.
We're all.
For-
Oh, and then we're joined right now actually by Crash. So welcome, Crash.
Hey,
Saw you
everybody.
in the chat. We're gonna be talking about the maps pretty soon here, so good thing
Yeah,
you
I
popped
figured
in.
I was just gonna watch, so I should probably just jump in and
Yeah.
hang out since it's like right here.
Yeah.
The thing that I wanted to say, because last night I was confused by the day 2 stuff, or at least there was one thing that I was confused about, because it says on day 2 that, and we'll get to talking about that later, but this is relevant to what we're talking about now actually eventually. But I saw that it said that in the campaign it was going to be replacing weapon drops. It worded it this way. It said weapon drops and something else will be replaced by the paints. And I was like, wait, like all weapon drops, like
What?
like all weapon, like you mean you're not going to be getting weapon drops in the game anymore, which I thought was pretty crazy. So immediately I messaged Jill, who happened to be online, and I was like, I'm not exactly sure what this means. Does this mean weapon drops or weapon skin drops? And he confirmed that it just means weapon skin drops, like from the campaign.
Okay.
So we're still going to
That
be getting
definitely helps
weapon
clear it
drops.
up.
Yeah.
They changed
I
it,
had a few
right?
people in my
Now
Discord
it
ask about
says
that.
Like it used to say weapon drops, and now it says campaign weapon
Did they
drops.
did they change it?
I think they actually changed it.
I'm gonna go check.
Can they do that?
Can they change their
technology.
website? It's not permanent after they do it.
That's amazing! Only at Valve would we see such developments, extraordinary things.
Yeah, I think they did, replacing campaign weapon drops. You know, maybe.
Yep, they did. They added the extra word in there. Yeah.
Interesting.
Thanks to Uncle Dane.
Yeah, I was like,
Uncle
I reported
Dane,
a bug.
You
But,
have the power
well
to
done.
change Valve at its heartiest.
But anyway, after that, I was like, I just threw in a quick little like, good job on the update. So far it's really exciting. I'm pumped by it. And then Jill jokingly said, well, it was kind of with joking intent, obviously, said, if the servers burn down on Thursday, will that be considered thematic to the update? I'm asking for a friend. And I was like, you know what? I'm pretty sure people expect it. But that in itself kind of confirms that Thursday will very likely, according to their plan so far, is what I'm assuming based on that statement, is that Thursday is when the update is going to actually drop and not when that's... Because what I was kind of thinking was maybe day
What
4...
a slip up.
Yeah, well, I mean...
I don't know. You think about how Valve do these things. They hint at things and then do a bait and switch. So it could be that we still get 5 days out of this, and on Thursday it'll be the heated intensity of the hype that prevents them from running, because everybody will want it so much, and then there'll be the 5th day with a huge explosion, and our minds be blown out of the back of our heads. Yes.
So I actually had my own Jill interaction that also confirms Thursday.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
I'm glad you added it.
We're just
Jill
we're just
interaction.
shooting down all of Agro's excitement.
When the website was like, just, it wasn't working initially, and it had all the images were broken, I sent him the shit's on fire, yo image over Steam, and he didn't answer me till the website was back up, but he said, you ain't seen nothing yet.
Yeah.
And I said, that sounds ominous, and he sent me a gif of someone throwing a fireball into a bonfire and the bonfire exploding.
Oh God. Stuff is gonna
That's what
be
we can
catching on
expect to happen
fire,
on
literally.
Thursday, yeah.
Yeah. I think they're kind of terrified to see like how their servers react on Thursday, whenever the update inevitably drops. I'm assuming that, because I mean, I don't think that the servers would go down if they just released an update page on day 4, So, because I was
I'm sure
thinking
they're-
maybe
they're
that it
starting
would drop
for it.
on Friday. Like Friday would be dedicated to the entire drop of the update. You know what I mean?
Can I get some day 5 hype in chat, please?
Come on.
How are we going to do that? There are 5 symbol anyone's got. Is anyone got 5 emoji? That would totally do it.
Yeah, I got a 5 symbol right here.
Yeah, I'm sure you do.
Wow.
So- Like, the thing to remember with Valve is that they run the servers for distributing games, as well as the servers for actually running the game, for running Team Fortress 2. So their servers burning down could mean the number of people who will be trying to download the latest version of the update at the same time, or it could mean people trying to get on servers to play the game, or it could be
Yeah.
both.
I think
Like-
maybe both.
I would guess both.
Yeah.
They always have
Like-
problems downloading updates when they first launch, usually.
So one of the things that they have is the capacity to change servers from being MVM or from being alternative game modes or manpower, and then put those into the map pools for whatever the current experience is. You can do that as a normal as a community server runner, but Valve do it specifically because they have so many servers available. Do they think that all of their servers are going to be completely maxed out with all of these people playing Team Fortress 2, or have they lost sight of the depth and wealth of people playing the game? Will people
I
come
would
back?
argue they probably haven't lost any sight of it. I think they're probably
No.
just preparing, like past updates. It generally kind of goes crappy for like an hour, and then everything kind of stabilizes because everybody rushes in.
Yep.
it'll
Everybody wants to
be
be the first YouTuber to play it.
Exclusive YouTube video content.
Gotta make the box trot videos.
Man, I can't wait until all of the YouTubers upload videos with the same thumbnail. It's just basically what you see on my screen right now, which is just the Jungle Inferno logo.
Pretty much. Maybe with like a little reaction
It's
image
so
of their own
funny.
face cropped in there.
Like the thumbnail's so super important to like the success of your video, and it's just mind blowing that so many people who do TF2 content like don't even think about going out of their way to like change it just a little bit so that it stands out from the rest of them. No, let's all use the same logo,
No
so all of our
time to
videos
make it-
look the same, guys.
See, that's how I always do it. I just make the video and I go to upload it, and then I realize when it's almost up, I just oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I need a thumbnail.
Do the laziest
Yeah.
thing possible.
Yeah. But one last thing about the Joe conversation that I had. He said that the servers can handle the load. Because I asked him, I was like, did you guys do any improvement to your infrastructure to accommodate for this, or is it just the same as always? And he said that the servers can handle the load. So I'm assuming it's the same as always. But he said that bugs tend to reveal themselves quicker when, and this is his words, 100K hat-laden mercs mash every button at once. So that's us. We're a bunch of hat-wearing, excited people trying to just press the button to download the update. And then I said, like F5, for example, because it was literally after everybody was mashing F5 to load day 2. He's like, yeah, people love that button.
I don't know about you, but I've already
great
set
button.
my region setting to Belgium on the assumption that nobody lives in Belgium. It's not a real place.
Yeah, everyone in
Should be able to
Belgium
get
don't download
Yeah.
the update. So
That's
Agro
right.
can get priority.
Yes.
All right, well, we can
What?
move on to the next thing on the update page. Unless, did you have something to say, Freddie, about what we were talking about?
No, I think it's time to move on. We've almost made it past the fucking headline of the.
I know,
update.
yeah.
The first image.
The entire concept of the update is enough to warrant a 10-minute discussion.
Can we spend 50 more minutes talking about the fire coming out of the
Oh
works?
yeah. I just love the way the
I think
fire
that's made in
was.
source.
Yeah.
Source 2 confirmed.
Yes, Source 2, Fire 2.
Let's do you want
Sure,
to talk
do.
about maps since we got Crash here?
Well, we're getting to the maps. Maps are literally the next thing I want to talk about after the
Oh, that's where
SFM.
we're going.
Yeah, the SFM is the next
Yeah.
thing on the update page. I'm just going to go chronologically and like what they display. But what do you guys think about the SFM? Don't
a
all
video
speak about
game.
it. Yeah. Yeah, I
We're all
think.
just too courteous here.
Yeah.
Basically, just Wing. Is it Winglet? The name of the dude who does all the SFM stuff.
Mhm.
It's basically his video but remade and remastered.
Yeah, Winglet does
I mean,
do
I
a lot
really
of
liked
fight
it.
scenes, and there was pretty much a huge fight scene in this video. So I see this connection.
But he
there.
I
had
think
like
after the upset on Reddit about how the humor in TF2 was lowbrow now because of the fart taunt and everything was terrible. I think this video made it did a good job of reminding people that the humor is still there in TF2. It's still good. I laughed a couple of times.
I really enjoyed
Please let there be
Saxton saying, that part was really good too. But Saxton saying, "Don't worry, you'll be fine," and then he uses the scout as a weapon.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the
Yeah.
scout scream as he's being used.
There's-
There's this
Thank you.
there's this scene in there that I didn't even really realize was funny until like way later. All right, pause it on screen. It's like this really subtle joke that I didn't notice the first time. But
Oh, are you talking about the pants thing?
no. When he
'Cause I didn't
has
have to hear
when
that
he
at
has the
first.
scout in the headlock after he picks him up
Yep.
after the pants thing, the sign next to him is like a mirror image of like what he's doing.
Wow, I actually hadn't
I
seen
did
that.
not see that. Yeah, that's really good.
That's hilarious. It's like pretty much, I don't know, it makes the subtle hint that Scout is a child. And he's like here
Yeah,
to
it's subtle.
basically
It's a
scold
high
him.
IQ joke right there.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Some Rick and Morty references in there somewhere. But
It's gotta be.
yeah, I don't know. It's one of those videos, and I think a lot of TF2's shorts are like this. Like, it benefits repeated watching because they hide a lot of like funny little things in there. Like this is right here, this scene where the soldier gets attacked by the Yeti. He's holding a banana, but then whenever he gets attacked,
Oh yeah.
the banana flies out of his hand and into the air. And I didn't notice it. It looks like a bird at
Squeezes.
first.
How the fuck did I not notice that?
No, I agree. There's
Yeah,
so many like
clench-
small things they
clenches
put in
his
these
fist.
videos.
Yeah.
Clenches his fist in terror or fear, or just because it's fight flight reaction, and it squeezes and pops up in the air.
It's
Really
like dead
high.
center frame and super bright, and I did not see that.
Oh,
looks
I
like a
thought it
bird,
was a
though. You don't
bird
notice
at
it the
first, yeah.
time.
I thought it was a dildo, to be honest. I'm just completely out
Oh my
there.
God.
Like, I was thinking,
You know-
why on earth is that?
I don't think that would make any sense.
Thematically and in the environment, I didn't see that. I didn't understand why it was there, but that's my instinctive reaction. But that's me and bananas.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard because, I mean, I liked the SFM, but it's definitely one of the least things one of the least exciting things. It was just kind of like a good, I don't know, pump up for the
It's a good
update.
start to the update. It was
Yeah,
a good
yeah, yeah.
hyper, I would say, for
Yeah,
making
exactly.
everything look exciting and getting us into it. Like, I wasn't even really thinking about the SFM for this update at all.
There is a section of this community that I feel like I always overlook that pretty much only really looks forward to these kinds of things, like the lore and the character interactions and stuff. Like, it means so much to people. So I'm
Yeah.
glad that they included it to kind of get people who are into that.
It was a good introduction to like the official map too. I think
Yeah.
so it's like showing that off and kind of
Yeah.
showing the lore behind the map.
I can't believe that the
Yeah,
soldier
reason
got
to
up
be
after all this. By the way,
Oh, I can.
He had his back.
He's a
broken.
hardy boy.
I
Drinks
thought
lots
it was
of,
canonically dead.
Yeah.
lead water.
He basically pulled a Batman on that.
Yeah. He's fine.
He just needs a bit of therapy.
What do you guys think about Saxon Hale's voice actor, who is apparently somebody who's worked with Valve before? He's done voices in a few of their games. I think Dota is probably the most prominent one.
Yeah, I think I was reading about who he was and like what he's voice acted before. He's
done a
pretty good for
ton.
the role.
He's done
I
so
like
many
the voice
video
he
games.
got for it.
Yeah, it was perfect. I mean, it's kind of funny because people pointed out that he's not even Australian. Apparently he's
He's
French
French.
American.
Yeah, that weirded me out when I checked out his ID. Yeah, whatever.
He does pretty good.
It's gonna be hard to like get over hearing the old like VSH mode like Saxton Hale like screaming voice that they have for that, but I like the voice they gave him. I think it fits him really well.
Have you gone back and looked at the Saxton Hale model from first Saxton?
Oh god,
That's-
yeah,
that's-
someone posted a
it's
meme
so
about it.
crazy. Yeah.
How far
Looks
we've
so
come.
weird.
Better.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
they did a really great job. And
For
then
me,
of course
Saxon
the thing
Hale's
that
always been the voice of Kronos, so that's what I've had in my head. And hearing this isn't such a huge distance away from Kronos doing it. In fact, Kronos sent me a message immediately after seeing it saying, "Hey, it's not me," which would have been awesome as a voice actor. It's not me, but it's not bad. And I'm like, yeah, okay, I'll go with that. Yeah, it's all right. It fits. It feels natural for that character, for that shape, and that and what we all know Saxon Hale to be.
For sure.
yeah.
Agreed. I think we're all in agreement. And then the last thing about the SFM that got a lot of people hyped was that at the very end you see the Pyro zooming around in a jetpack, and people were
Oh, yeah.
super stoked about the Flyro.
The live reaction on my stream of watching that was very much
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
being a 5-year-old child, just like jetpack.
Yeah, it reminded me of that scene in The Simpsons where he like says trampoline, like he sees a trampoline in the newspaper.
Yeah.
And just, trampoline, jetpack.
Yep.
Now,
Exactly.
people have been really dissecting this like 3-second clip of him flying and trying to apply it to how it might work in game. But I personally think that what is done in the SFM doesn't necessarily have to reflect exactly what the jetpack stats do. Everybody's like, well, he only used the flamethrower when he's not flying, so maybe it's not able to be used while you're using a flame. But it's like, I don't know. I feel like they wouldn't really go out of their way to make sure that it's accurate to the stats. Because, I mean, you can change the stats at any time, to be honest.
Yeah, the one thing I'm hoping for is like true in the short video is the fact that he goes up fast, right? He doesn't just
Yes.
slowly hover up. I like the quickness of it. I hope that's
Exactly.
I see that as being like there's two movement speeds. There's the initial launch off, which is what you were talking about, Freddie, where he starts from either from moving or from standstill and surges forward like he's a hybrid electric vehicle or something. And the other one is where he's at the peak of his height and kind of hovers there. He slows down at that point and just hovers. So I see Pyro as being, or Pyro Jetpack as being something that gets you high fast and then leaves you there.
I'm looking at
So
something
it's like
that.
a hard-hitting drug.
It really is. It's yeah. I don't know what the downfall of this is going to be, but whatever it is, yeah, you might
What I
want to.
am like most curious about for this is it going to be a secondary or is it going to be a passive?
I
ability
think it's
for
going to be
Pyro?
a secondary, but it'll work as a passive in a way. Like, for instance...
Okay, that's what I was leaning towards. Something
Yeah.
like the parachute, essentially.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it would work like a parachute where you can't take it out per se, but it still affects you. Like, for instance, like it just makes it so that when you're jumping, if you press jump again while you're in the air, then it'll
Yeah.
boost you, and you can use it. And
Like a double jump for Pyro.
my guess is that if it's not a cooldown, like kind of like a boost thing where you use a certain amount of it, and then after you're out, you have to wait for it to come back. Then I would guess it
be
might
tied to
take.
ammo.
Yeah, I would guess it would take ammo, and then it would make more sense to me for it to use the flamethrower's ammo, so that it's
That's
kind
what I
of
was
a
thinking
bit of
too.
a
Yeah,
downside.
that it'd be tied to your primary ammo.
Yeah.
Which makes sense though as a balancing issue, because like then you have the option of, yes, I have mobility, but then I have less to attack with, or possibly nothing if I use it to escape.
Yeah, exactly. Like you can't. Right, basically, it will prevent you from using the jetpack to get in, using your flamethrower to kill a lot of people, and then using the jetpack to get out. Like you'd have to make sure
You'll have to actually
you're
like-
But
managing your ammo.
that's what makes pyro exciting. That's what makes everything exciting. And I hope that they don't take that path. I hope that they make it something that recharges over time itself.
Well, to
So
be
it
fair
gets
though, if you go the
used
route of
and
like
yeah,
killing
yeah.
people, you could pick up the ammo from people you've
Yeah.
killed and like use that to get
But-
away. So it's like a
but
risk
the-
versus reward kind
The
of thing.
flamethrower itself uses so much ammo to do anything. You're constantly hovering around trying to
True.
pick up the ammo pack. So like you'd have two things that steal all of your ammo. You'll be an engineer's worst nightmare.
Well, what if it's it could be
Unless
at a
he has a
reduced
s-
rate
has
though,
a- unless he has a
possibly.
sentry
Like
gun.
it takes it up at a much slower rate than the actual flamethrower.
I don't know.
Who knows?
Yeah, who knows?
Yeah, we'll find out when it comes. Yeah.
I just hope that it's not a must pick, because I would still want ground pyro to be viable. I still want people to say, well, in this situation, I would much rather use a shotgun. And on certain maps, like I'm sure that your mobility means less, like in indoor maps, like for instance CP Steel or something, where there's not a huge skybox at all,
Yeah.
and your mobility doesn't really mean anything as much as damage does. So I'm hoping that that's the deal with
Steel
it.
is perfect. You want to get out to midpoint. You want to go all the places that a demo can go, all the places a soldier can go. I see it being utilized in sixes. They'll throw away both scouts, because who needs scout anymore? Nobody plays scout. They'll throw out all the scouts, and it'll just be 2 pyros, two soldiers, a demo, and a medic.
I'm just
Job done.
imagining like the mid-fight at process, like Pyro can just jump on top of those crates and just deny soldiers from getting up there completely.
Literally. Just
Reflect all of the rockets while they're in midair.
Yeah, exactly. It's gonna be really
Epic.
powerful just on its own. Like even if they don't change anything else about Pyro, just the fact that he would be able to get up to those crates pretty much instantly without having to do any special jumps or anything like that, then it would be amazing.
So much fun.
Yeah.
It's gonna be
Um,
sick.
what else was there about this SFM? I think that was it.
Helipad confirmed.
Helipad. Yeah, I mean, like that showed off. I think a bit of the new map, which is Mercenary Park, but obviously the screenshots also do that justice as well, which leads us into the next thing, which is the maps. So Mercenary Park is one of the first things, and it's confirmed to be a 3 CP map, which back when Jewlander and I, and as well as Agro actually was there as well, and Scott. When we went to
You know, I was
Valve
just kind
in
of-
January. What? Yeah, I mean, you were the
Wait,
entire
Scott wasn't
reason
there
that we
yet.
went.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it wasn't Scott. It
Yeah.
was Pazer.
Yeah, you're thinking Pacer, Agro, you and I. This
Yeah,
was
yeah,
the first
yeah.
one.
You know, I've just been there so many times. It's all just, you know, I just go in there every other week. But the map that we saw being play tested was a 3CP map, and it was jungle themed. I'm very positive that it was this map. So this map's been in development since at least January, possibly
Almost
way
a full
before
year.
that,
Oh,
because
it must be
I would
long.
argue
They were playtesting
definitely
it.
before that,
Yeah.
because it had an art pass already. It was
Yeah.
definitely beyond early stages.
and
I think they developed without pass anyway. I think they're beyond the stages of trying to figure things out and then get people to test them.
it's also worth
Yeah, I don't
noting.
No, they totally do the same stuff we do in the community. They'll gray box it out and then test it internally. They're not doing like community tests, but they're still doing internal
Yeah,
tests
yeah.
the same way and then
Mhm.
iterating.
Yeah, they were actually doing a test at the time we came in too.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That was the first thing they were doing when we walked in, and then we were like, "Oh, we'll come back later when they're not busy." So
They'll
I'm very
scramble
upset.
and cover their screens.
I'm
And
very
then
upset
hovered
no
at
one
the
leaked
screen.
this to me.
Yeah, what the hell?
another thing that's noted about Mercenary Park is that there's that giant Hollywood-like sign above it that says Yeti Park, and we saw the park part of it in a screenshot when they were posted a blog post a long time ago. I don't even remember when it was, asking people to make a jungle-themed maps and items and stuff. So even back then, they had at least had that concept down. So this map's been in development for a really long time, And I'm wondering because a story that a lot of people have come to know now that we've kind of talked about it after meeting with them in January is that Jill said that Powerhouse in particular had been around since launch. It's just that it wasn't completed until they decided to release it with
I was
Gunmetal
about to bring
Tough
that up
Trade.
Just
too.
the
that
rounds and
was
the
really
playtesting took so
interesting.
long to play.
Well,
But the
it's
guy
more that
left.
The guy who created it,
Yeah.
yeah, he left and then decided to come back years later and actually finish the map.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I'm wondering, because this is also a 3CP map, and I don't know exactly how it works. I don't know if it's going to work like how fucking, what is that map that where you can cap all of them at the same time and you have to cap all three of them.
Oh, I know which one you're talking about. The
It's
one we played
awful.
at the
Hydra.
Stand-in. No, it's not Hydra.
No,
Stand-in, right?
it's stand-in, yeah. Stand-in's technically a 3CP map, but you can cap
Technically.
them. Yeah, it's more along the lines of a Koth map, to be honest, with 3 points.
Yeah,
But
3 cost.
I would assume that it would work kind of like a 5CP map where you have to push them back to their last.
I
I'm not
kind
completely
of
sure.
have a feeling just seeing it and not seeing like too many symmetrical areas. Like there's no mid that you're seeing in any of these screenshots.
Mhm.
I have a feeling it's more like not necessarily gravel pit, but more of like an attack defend 3CP.
Oh, really?
I think mid is where if you see the image that's got Manco across a big red bridge, I see that as being mid, and I see like the difference between the red side, which is super industrial, and the blue side, which is
That's true.
all glass. So I think they've had very different art passes for each side, but I can still see this being
If you look at that one
3CP.
too, it says resupply on the blue signs and it says control point on the red signs. So if it was the same, should say resupply on both or control point on both.
Interesting.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. I
I
mean,
bow to your superior knowledge, sir.
yeah, it could very well be something completely different than what
I
Powerhouse
hope,
is.
I hope. I'm sorry, I need to get this out. I hope that at mid, you see the crocodiles in the water.
Mhm.
I hope that you get to throw people to the crocodiles.
Oh,
I
I do
guarantee
too.
it.
Yeah.
I feel like that's
death
definitely gotta
pit
be.
more
If
than
they're showing it
anything.
off there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe it's like a little bit
They
extra
tested
damage
that
in the
with
water.
the Halloween map with the alligator, right? They tested it with cardboard versions, and now they've got the real thing.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. The alligator
I
on
forgot the name of the map.
Moonshine
It's
or whatever.
Moonshine.
I think.
But I don't know, like the way
Yeah,
that this
was
map
fine. I
looks.
wasn't paying attention. That one's my map.
Yeah, I was thinking that, but I thought you'd speak up.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if you guys agree with me here, but the way this map looks is very similar to Powerhouse, in my opinion. It uses a lot of the same kind of, like, bright mid and then indoor last, as far as I can tell. It looks like, and I don't know. It uses a lot of like concrete, as well as like water being a big presence somewhere around the middle area, as far as what looks like the middle area.
Someone brought up in chat too, and I should have thought of this myself too, but there is a B sign. They wouldn't do ABC if it was 3CP like push pull.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that's very true.
Oh yeah,
It's
Oh, yeah,
never
you're right.
labeled like that when it is.
it's 3CP. I guess maybe.
freaking
Yeah.
detective work being done here.
Because
Yeah.
honestly, early on, when I saw B, I was thinking it was going to be a 2CP map, but then when they said 3CP, I just like completely forgot about the B sign.
Yeah, maybe it is more attack defend than anything, where the points become locked after you cap them, and then this.
Man,
Well,
Yeah,
it's
go to
more.
the
Three control
Yeah.
point, so they might have a gimmick to it. We know they love to do that with their maps. So
I do know, like a while back, I forget if it was feedback they got from somebody or somewhere we heard that Valve was not a fan of the gravel pit type, like tube open points,
Yeah.
because it split up combat too much. So
Mhm.
I would, knowing that, I would think it's not that style, but who knows?
Yeah, that's interesting. Because Gravel Pit is considered an attack defend map, and it has 3 points.
Yeah.
But why would they call it an attack? I mean, it says right here that it's a 3 control point map. So I would
know, I feel
assume
like
that
we'll
it would be
Yeah.
that would be push pull. But you're right that AB
We're
is kind of
labouring this a little
misleading.
bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
But
maybe the
that's the thing.
screenshots and everything just isn't giving us the whole picture.
Do they
So-
call A and I mean, what do they call the points on control point maps? They call them A, B.
I don't think they have names. I think it's just.
Yeah, they're usually not like anything
Barry,
specific because
Jordy.
you're going to be coming from either direction, so you're not going to want it to say A B C B A or something, you know.
yeah.
Can't be asked.
I honestly do hope that it's more along the lines of Powerhouse because believe it or not, I love Powerhouse. Even though it can get
me
really
too. It
stalemating.
goes long, but it's so
Yeah,
much fun though.
it can become
Yeah.
really, really long map, like games, but I just like the layout of the map. I think that it's perfect size for the team size that you usually find in pubs.
So good for fragging.
Yeah, and it's got a really big open mid, and then you have the indoor area. My only complaint is that the spawn room is so close to the last point, so it's really hard to push the last point sometimes. But
Yeah.
other than that, I think it's one of my favorite maps. So maybe this will be similar. I honestly, and here's another thing that people have been speculating since the beginning, ever since they saw the Yetis, that they think that there's going to be an official Saxon Hail mode. What do you guys think about that?
Well,
An
I'm
official
kind of
Saxon Hail mode.
I'm of the train of thought that someone was speaking on Reddit, which is just because there's a model doesn't mean it's going to be a mode. Just like how the Halloween update from the bread one, the bread monster wasn't used for anything, even though he has an higher 3D model. So it'd be cool. I think it'd be really neat, and it'd be good for TF2 to have another mode for people to play. That's essentially just a varied game type.
Believe it or not, I actually disagree. I think
Yeah,
that
I hugely disagree with that.
yeah, I don't know. I think that alternative modes should never really be featured. I mean, we've already got 5 other maps, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I
So
personally
we've got
don't
we've got
really
a variety
enjoy it.
of alternative game modes exist at the moment. Maybe an alternative game mode would attract a new audience, and maybe that's worthwhile introducing it. But at the moment, I think the primary focus for this update, or at least an update coming shortly, whether it's this one we don't know, is going to be competitive. And I think they are going to try and focus on getting more people excited about competitive than about an alternative game mode.
Yeah,
Well,
Yeah.
I wasn't saying it's going to happen. I'm saying I don't think it will. But I'm not saying it would be the worst thing in the world if it did, and they just put it under like alternative game modes on casual.
I mean, I want to play Saxon Hail mode official Team Fortress 2 Valve version, but I also want to play anti-bread mode official Team Fortress 2 version. So maybe all of our dreams will come true eventually, but not in this one.
Yeah, I'm kind of on the same page as Agro about how it might take away from the competitive focus in a way because people would rather play some alternative game mode than play competitive mode. So maybe
I don't
it
think
would be bad
it's
for
what
this
the
one.
game needs right now.
Yeah, eventually
It wouldn't
maybe.
be a bad thing, but
Yeah.
you know.
I don't think it's going to happen
Royale.
personally. Still,
Nah,
It's
me
just
neither.
My opinion on the actual model.
I would highly doubt it was going to happen, but a lot of people have been suggesting it from day one and still are kind of attached
If
to it.
it was,
so-
it would have been
But
focused, I think, if he
Saxon
hasn't been
Hale
short or
killed the
something.
last Jedi though, so
Yeah,
there's no
exactly.
Jedi left to fight.
With each other. Which
There are
is
no
the
more Yetis.
whole
That's
point of
the
the
whole-
SFM.
Yeah, exactly. Saxon's just such a badass. He already beat his own game mode.
Oh, I do hope that he's the announcer for the new map, though.
I
feel like
have a
that's
feeling
likely
that's going to
true.
be he
Yeah, that would be
he,
cool, yeah.
he counts it
And
down.
Considering the video showed him talking about it at the start of the round, yeah.
Mhm.
Having a whole like announcer pack or something is something that could potentially be happening, kind of like Dota.
Yeah.
That'd be so
done.
great.
Oh,
That'd
like
be
able to submit like ones
That'd
in
be
game.
cool.
Yeah. Have
And then it's a
a
back workshop coming up.
yeah. Can we get an aggro?
Oh.
Can we get a pickle
3,
Rick pack for Team Fortress
2,
2?
1.
You're all dead!
I'd buy the aggro pack.
You're
useless! In a You heartbeat. didn't
defeat the other team!
You all lose.
They're like, why does he always sound like he's like getting strangled?
It's just how it is.
Gotta toss the smog voice in there somewhere. So.
When you do like the Hulk gif, that's my secret doc. I'm always being strangled.
Wow.
Yeah. That's a whole new storyline.
All right. Well, moving on
Speaking of a
from
whole new storyline.
we'll move on from
Yep.
Mercenary Park onto the community created maps, such as the
Yeah.
first one on the list is Lazarus, which is a King of the Hill map. I played this map for the
Love
first time at Toth, and I loved it a lot. Has anybody else played this map?
Played the shit out of
I
this
have played this one so much, and honestly, I suppose I can reveal now. I've known about these maps for a good month of which ones are going in. So my tip of the hat suggestions were not necessarily random.
See, I was gonna say
Wow.
that it seemed
Yeah.
interesting that all of these
Ah.
maps were basically played on top.
Mind you, before the picks, these were like definitely all my top ones. The only one I didn't really know about was Brazil, not Basil, Brazil.
Brazil.
Yeah.
But they would have been in there even if I hadn't known. So it wasn't just because of that, but I was like, well, it'd be cool to have them playing them early too.
That is funny.
That was a really nice choice for you to make, to be honest, because it gave, I think, a lot of us who were, participating in Toth a little bit of a experience with the maps beforehand. Because when I was looking at this and they revealed them, I was like, oh my god, I played all of these. I love this. This is great. They're all so fun maps already.
Yeah, I mean, Lazarus, of all of those listed, Lazarus by a long shot is my favourite. It's just such an enjoyable romp of a map.
Yeah.
Everyone gets involved. Everyone has a position. Everyone has a play style that is super effective, and it's a lovely, fantastic, magical experience playing on that map. Anyway, it's beautifully structured. It looks incredible. Yeah, I think that's the best thing you can ever get to. It's the pinnacle of map making. And whoever made it, I don't know if they're in the room at the moment, but whoever made it, what genius, what created this environment, absolutely should be hired by Valve just straight away.
So this one was created by Void. He's a staff member over at TF2 Maps. Very, very cool guy. He also did, he's got Monster Mash up on the workshop. He's done like a ton of really, really cool stuff. He basically he was a mapper a long time ago, like before I started mapping. And then he took a break and he started doing item making and texturing and things like that. And then he came back and just started blowing us away and making these really, really cool projects. Him and Fuzzy Mellow, they're like the TF2 power couple. And they are just they have so much in this update between items and maps. If you scroll down through the maps, they're on 4 out of 5 of the maps because
Yeah, I saw that on their Twitter. They were talking about that.
Yeah, they did a bunch of the textures. I had it on my map Overgrown. I got a bunch of their stuff even. So if Overgrown had gotten in, they would have been on that one too. They had some of the skins were actually created by them that got put in on top of some of the items too. So it's this is their update practically.
Just a community update.
Amazing. See, that's what sticks out to me. I haven't played any of these maps personally, but visually they look amazing. I love how bright and colorful they are. They're so different from everything that's in.
It's a really nice change of pace. Yeah.
Walking out of
Borneo, but that's a different kind of jungle. It's more gray-ish.
The light is done in a very interesting way in that you do have that feeling of being enclosed while you're inside, but with the big sort of glass panels, you have the taste of freedom. And as you leave spawn, you get almost hit by this bright sunshiny ray, and it lifts you up internally. You feel good about going into the fight. And then it all sort of clashes in the middle. So there are a lot of little tweaks and stimuli in there that you might not necessarily realize are happening to you, or all adding to the experience. And even the special sort of lighting at the end, which I'm not sure they have got one of the images of the pool of tranquility. It's kind of like the lighting on it.
So that's supposed to be how's the youth thing? I'm drawing a blank.
A fountain of youth. Fountain of youth.
Yeah, like a fountain of youth. You actually, if you go in there, it heals you too.
Oh, that's
a
cool.
fun little thing
cool.
that they did.
Wait, where is that? I never saw that when I was playing.
When the map finishes, a big giant door opens up right next to mid, and you can run in there, and it's straight back that way.
Oh, wait.
So
it's kind of easy to miss, but yeah, it's sort of like a finale thing.
Oh.
Like the gold on Egypt, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, cool.
I actually haven't had a chance to play, I think, 2 of these, which is, let me check here. I think it's Banana Bay and what's the other? Enclosure. I haven't played Enclosure either. But
Enclosure is the only one I
about
haven't played.
Enclosure.
Yeah, I've been hearing a lot of great things about Enclosure. Somebody said that it was a 3-stage payload map. Is that right?
Yeah. Yep, it is.
Wow.
Ooh, I like that.
I haven't seen that in forever.
That's massive.
Not since Gold Rush.
It is a lot of map.
It goes
I like
on
that kind of map,
a long
though.
way. It's if you like
a lot of
sniping,
experience.
you'll love that map. It's It's all
Are
about
the sniper sight lines
Sniper
really
sight
long,
lines?
or?
Yeah, there's extraordinarily long the sniper sight lines. You can start. In fact, if you can start in Lazarus and snipe your way onto that map, you're pretty much about there. Yeah.
Well, maybe that'll be
before we
fixed
get-
at some point.
Before we get too far off of Lazarus, actually, it's kind of interesting. This map is, he says, 5 years old, and
wow.
he came back and worked on it again. It used to be a 3-stage King of the Hill map called Tachyon, and it had this really cool time travel gimmick where you were going through different. It was the same map but at different times, so things were different.
So things would be decrepit or futuristic or something.
Weird.
And I think one of the versions was kind of jungly. It was going to be the prehistoric version, and Void started working on it again, and he brought it back, and he was like, "This map would be way better if I didn't have this mechanic. It's cool, but for the sake of a good map, he just focused on one stage." and made Lazarus, and it's really, really cool. It turned out really well.
Nice. Well, that was a good decision, I think. I love Koth maps.
Yeah,
this
Koth
one's
is my
really great.
favorite game mode by
I'm glad
far.
there's two of them. Yeah, so the next map is Moss Rock, which Crash actually had a hand in making, apparently. I didn't know that.
Just a little one. This one was made by Freya primarily. It used to be, a long time ago, it was a 72-hour jam map called CP Kikoku. Freya likes her Japanese words, so she's got a lot of, she's got a lot of
Freya made
Suijin, yep.
Suijin,
Yeah.
And she's also Tien, and there's another MVM map. Oh god, it's cool. She made 2 MVM maps, and they basically like.
I know which one you're talking about. I played it last
big
weekend.
giant trees, yeah.
Yeah. I can't remember the name of it though. We did it in custom MVM, and I can confirm it was very cool.
But she made those. She's an amazing mapper. She's like somebody I look up to a ton when it comes to like visual, like mapping visuals. But she did the map and then turned it into a map called White Rock, which was kind of more deserty, rocky, mining themed. Then when Jungle got announced, she's like, well, this isn't that far off. I could turn this into Jungle. And she spent some time reskinning it and turning it into Moss Rock, which is what we have now. But I offered, while we were working on our maps, I had CP Overgrown, which is a 2 CP map, and then Moss Rock is a 2 CP Gorge style map. We were like, we're probably kind of competing against each other, so let's trade some work. So if one of us gets in, we're still getting in together. It was kind of a goodwill sort of thing we did. So I went through and I did a big clipping pass, and I checked for smoothing and basically made the map a little bit more fun to play on. I made some high up points, block those off so you couldn't get to them. So if you try to get up somewhere high and you can't, that's probably me.
Blocking my pyro jetpack.
But also, if you back up and you don't get caught on something sticking out, that might be me too.
Aw, thanks. Man.
That's worth it.
If you can't build a mini
Sounds
sentry
like-
somewhere, that's also you.
Everywhere. Sounds like a really smart thing to do, though, to like just trade a little bit of work to be able to put your name on the map.
Yep, and for me, she made me a poster. It's an overlay that references my daughter. So that was cool. She's basically going to get a 1% on like all of my maps for the rest of eternity.
That's good. That's
nice.
Yeah,
You
that was
got a link
mine.
for that? I'd like to see that.
I don't. I can find it.
Post that bad boy in chat.
Yeah, this map looks really good, and 2CP. Everybody keeps saying Gorge style, which I'm excited about because I really like Gorge. So
Didn't we play this one on TOF too?
Did
Sure
we?
we did.
I think.
I'm
remember
pretty sure.
playing this
I'm pretty
on
sure I have
video.
it. It's got the train at the end.
Oh
right?
yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember fighting you there, Crash. Actually.
I remember.
Yeah,
I think.
remember this map.
Okay. I think that was. This is the map that we were playing on when we were doing the TFCrew.
Oh, it
thing.
is.
Because I remember really wanting to pay attention to what the map was doing, but I was too busy like paying attention to what we were talking about. So, like, I kind of missed out on like really getting to explore it because I was just kind of mindlessly walking around listening to Jewlander talk.
I seem to recall playing this one.
Oh yeah, that was when I was muted with everyone else.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
I seem to recall playing Moss Rock when it was either a 72-hour. There was like the map had just done its first skin, like the first time it had been built, and we did a competitive stream for showcasing the map with players from South Africa, or something really bizarre and just completely off the wall. And it played so well, but it was clear that there needed some assistance and some adjustments to it. Whether it's Moss Rock or whether it's the map that Moss Rock turned into, certainly the element of having that huge void of Death Pit over that 1 CP, and the sort of the underlying track of it, and going into very sort of narrow passes. Yeah, there's a lot of remembrance going on with this map, but it looks so much better than now than it ever has before. So clearly a lot of work went into it.
Yeah.
It's very, very pretty.
Freya's kind of the type of mapper who tries to subvert like standard practices and just makes them work. Like with Suijin, it was an arena map originally that got turned into Koth, so it was more arena focused. But the way she has things really, really open, like you can get on top of everything, and you can see
really?
everywhere. Like that's because she was like, I'm gonna make a map that's just kind of subverts the clip all the rooftops mindset that most maps have. And I think
I really like that.
I think with this one, she was more like, what if I had a huge death pit and I made it work still. That's what it seemed like to me anyway. It's got some like good sight lines on it, but they're not like too excessive. Like it plays really well. I really enjoyed it. I've been playing this one since she first made it, like a really long time, and helping her like with feedback and stuff on it. I think she rocked it pretty good.
That death pit is so large. Running past it, you feel an urge to grab onto the ledge. You don't want to get near the death pit, lest it suck you in.
Totally makes you feel like you're in like this jungle setting on like a mountain cliff or some like huge ravine. I really like that. It was a really fun map to play during TOTH, so I'm excited this is getting in.
I remember when I first loaded into this map at TOTH, I didn't know what the maps were, but I loaded into it and I was like, oh, we get to play Overgrown. And then as I walked around, I was like, this isn't Overgrown. It looks very similar. Like the art style is very similar. Like it uses a lot of the same things. Is that your contribution, Crash? Was the art pass or?
Oh no! All I did was I did the clipping on it. So it's this like the if I did my job right, you won't notice what I did on the map.
Mm-hmm. Were you in charge of the no build as well?
I wasn't, so you probably have some spots in there. Yeah, you're welcome.
All right.
What's your policy, Crash, on making like door frames and little planks on the wall actually have a hitbox and able to be stuck on when you walk? Because that
with all of those kind of things, this is like my obsessive clipping. I like really enjoy clipping, and it's like smoothing everything out. It's just like having this awesome map. You can just run along a wall in along door frames. So like a door frame itself, I would clip a big like angled brush around it and make it so from any angle you're not going to get stuck on anything.
I love
that's my biggest pet peeve in TF2. When I get stuck on like
actually,
a plank sticking out of the wall, I just go mental.
Yeah,
especially as like a spy player, like when you're trying to escape and you get stuck in geometry and then you just die. It's like great, cool. I guess I'll die.
So my theory on it is, you shouldn't be fighting the map. If the map's making you frustrated, as the mapper, I did a bad job. So I try to fix all the frustrating things I can on it. And if I'm going to frustrate you, it's going to be intentional. And there's going to be a reward, or it's your fault, basically, not my fault.
Train rain.
Exactly.
Cool.
Next one up is Peel Out to Banana Bay, which has been probably the most talked about as far as I can see. A lot of people really, really like this map. I think that a lot of people have played this map prior to it being announced. It's a payload race map. What do you guys think about this one?
I hate it.
Do you really?
Yeah, I genuinely do hate it. Okay, hate's too strong a word. I'm indifferent to its existence. I feel that there's a lot in there if you are a spy. There's a lot of twisty turns. Actually, I don't know. Maybe a lot of these maps. The trouble is that we're looking at them from the mindset of players who have a current set of skills. Particularly, I'm looking at it from a pirate's perspective, and apart from the fact that people do tend to get wet, so you can hit them with your with electricity killing device. But I think we're going to have to abandon whatever views we have in terms of the play style of them, because there's going to be a whole new set of weapons and a whole new adjustment to weapons that currently exist. But as it plays at the moment, I feel that there's too much given to heavies, to spies, to scouts, and there's not enough tradition within structure. It's too wiggly, too windy for me, but that's my style. So
I disagree, because I feel like it's actually really balanced for all the classes, because
you Crash.
You have like there's a big sight line at the top that's like perfect for snipers, and they kind of have this back and forth duel over the train tracks. So that's sniper taken care of. The scouts, they have all these little jumps and verticality and places to go and sneak through. So that's the scouts. Like the pyros have all these tight little corridors, places to run through, to ambush people, sneak around, flank. That's the ambush classes. The heavies, same thing. It's got, that chance to hide around a corner. Doesn't have necessarily mobility, but they can still get to all these different places pretty easily. And then for the jumping classes, the soldiers and the demos, there's all this verticality again that they can get from one layer to another and bomb people and all over the place. And then same with like spies, you have these opportunities to jump through these, jump from these higher places and attack people, or surprise them from around corners and flank and get away. And like, I think it's the high tower of this event, in my opinion.
I was about to say, everybody in chat saying it's like high tower, but
for me, it's like two.
Nice.
It's well, actually, Hightower is probably a good thing. I hate Hightower as well, but it's like two fort. There's essentially a role for DMing, and there won't be a role for pushing the cart and doing the whole thing. You talked about at the beginning with the snipers sort of standing at each end of the long track and shooting each other. That's two forts. That's all they do. Snipers aren't useful in two forts. They just stand in their set locations and shoot down the only reasonably long sight path, just wiping each other out and then being irritating to the rest of the team. Like, it's going to be great the first time people play it. It's going to be amazing the second time they play it. And about 10, 15, 20, maybe 100 plays down the road, they'll be tired of it. Whereas a million, maybe not a million, 1,000, 10,000 plays down the road of Upward, I still love that map. Everything about Upward, well, some things about Upward I love, and they're enough to carry me through.
Yeah.
I got bored of this the 30th time I played it.
Yeah, you might change your tune once the jetpack comes out, and you can
Yeah.
actually do the sniper.
That is one thing. With the
that is
jetpack,
it. Yep.
the pyro is going to get a lot more verticality. With this map, I've found it's like Hightower in the sense that you have that kind of deathmatch going around, but there's more incentive and it's easier to capture than Hightower is because you don't have that huge slog of like pushing the cart way up. It's got this little push mechanic at the top, the rollback zone, and then hilariously, Blade, who made this map, Blade X64, he beat Valve to finishing a map and getting it in game that uses the Cactus Canyon finale of the train hitting a
I
payload
noticed
cart,
that.
which is hilarious. It's like the funniest thing in the world to me that he actually beat them on that.
Is there a known logic for that train though? Because it comes out of different sides of the map, and depending on which side of the map it comes out of, like if both teams have managed to push their carts onto the train tracks at the same time, and they're both holding those carts, then it's 50-50.
Yeah, I believe it's random, which makes it
Right.
so you have an even chance if there is a stalemate kind of situation like that. But I've had so many close calls and like really tense. It does drag on. It does drag on a little bit like Hightower, which may be a negative against it. But I've had so many times where we're pushing the cart, the other team's pushing their cart, we're trying to stop them, they're trying to stop us, and you know, we clear them out, we're holding it, and then just last second somebody comes by and takes the person out who's holding the cart, and it just barely rolls back enough so the train goes by. And like, there's so many exciting close calls like that, or you know, you just barely get it up the hill and you're holding it, and everybody dies except for one person, and then this like big victorious explosion. Like, I've had so much fun on this map. Honestly, I really like it.
So what you're saying is we won't be seeing it in the professional tournaments.
Absolutely
But
not.
It's,
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't do that.
Unless they find a way of dropping the train from the top or pushing it up to the bottom, Crash, then I don't think we're going to see it in the competitive leagues.
I very barely got to play this map. I probably played it for about 5 minutes at Toth, and that's as far as I got. And already I could tell that this is the pubbiest map of the bunch, which is probably why a lot of people are excited for it. Because, like you guys have already said, it is very much like Hightower. It's like a DM map almost. Like the typical TF2 player doesn't care about winning; they just want to have fun. So the fact that this map kind of almost actively works against that doesn't seem to be a big problem. I mean, at least not for the people that it's going to attract.
I'm not a big fan of Hightower. I don't like Hightower. Like, I'll play it every once in a while because it's fun to kind of, you know, play around on, but I don't generally like it. I like this version of Hightower, so to speak.
Yeah, I like Team Fortress 2 when it's played as a team as opposed to played as a deathmatch.
Yeah, I probably won't be playing this map very much, but I will at least try it out for a bit. But I can already tell that it's probably gonna be my least played.
It's going to be Marmite. People are going to love it. People are going to 24/7 Banana Bay. That's all that people will play this game. They'll log in. One of their friends will advise them that this is the best map and you should ignore all other maps. And then for years, they'll only know Team Fortress 2 by Banana Bay.
Yeah, it's the new. I mean, honestly, if it replaces the obsession that people have with 2 Fort, great.
That's a good thing.
It's the new Turbine.
You know, Turbine at least is a tad bit better than 2-4. I still don't understand why people play 2-4 more than any other map. Turbine can be fun, but it can be frustrating if you have an unbalanced team because they have the choice of not capping, and then you're just eternally stuck in a bad map.
Yep.
We can move on to Enclosure, which we talked about a small bit earlier. It's a 3-stage payload map. Payload is my personal favorite game type to play in pubs. The fact that it's 3 stages surprising to me because not since I think Thunder Mountain or Gold Rush, I forget which one came first, has there been a 3-stage payload map as far as I can tell, right?
Thunder Mountain, I think, was the last one.
Yeah, so
I think you're gonna like this one, Dane, because there's a lot of engineer things
Ooh.
to play around on it.
cool.
Engineer things.
And the fact that it's a really, really long map is exciting because, people just like staying on the same server for a really long time. And a lot of big complaints about matchmaking that people had is that the games are over and then they have to go re-queue. Hopefully that by itself is fixed. But in the meantime, you get to stay on this map for a really long time, which is why a lot of people play maps like Dust Bowl and Thunder Mountain and Gold Rush and stuff like that, because there ends up being really long matches. I didn't play this map at all. Who here has played Enclosure?
I played it quite a bit. I gave him a bunch of feedback during the development of it. It's a cool map. I think I want to say it's a little bit of a weird choice because I feel like it could have used a bit more gameplay polish, but it is a pretty fun map. I've had a lot of fun on it. I think the last stage is probably the weakest out of them, but it's still I still had a lot of fun. And the finale is really cool. It's actually this giant, like, kind of the cardboard cutout animals, but it's this giant, like, T-Rex that comes out and, like...
What?
Yeah.
I heard that there's like a
Cool,
story. I heard there's like a story to the map that, like, you push the cart into, like, certain areas that make sense for the next part, in a way. Is that
All right.
ring a bell?
That's usually how multi-stages are, honestly.
Okay.
I haven't really analyzed, like, visually. I was more like... I gave him a bunch of gameplay feedback on it early on. But yeah, it's a good map. I think the first stage is a lot of fun. I've had a lot of fun with the first stage, and I think part of the problem with a multi-stage map is, like, when you're testing, you don't always get to the last stage. So you end up playing the first stage a lot and testing the first stage a lot, and then the last stage you don't necessarily get nearly as much testing. So I think, in my opinion, it kind of gets weaker as it goes, but it's still enjoyable.
See, I think it was you, right, Dane, that talked about it on your stream, because you mentioned Crash that it's not the best map in gameplay sense, but it's insanely themed with the update. Like, they started working on it way before they knew what this update was.
Yeah, that was totally
gonna be the whole
coincidence, as
Yeti
far as I
part.
know, yeah.
I'm pretty
And
sure that
it's got enclosures and cages and stuff.
Because
all
he
up.
was
Super
going
surprising.
for a Jurassic Park theme, like.
I think
That's hilarious.
I think he started off making it without having the Jurassic Park theme. He started off making it, well, at least it didn't look this good when I played it in like alpha or beta or whatever. There was definitely the waterfall. yeah. At some point in development, they kind of clocked onto the fact that this was a thing that they could do, and they nailed it. Absolutely, it's brilliant. It's amazing. You really get the theme. But yeah, it's been in development for a while, so.
Well,
I'm excited to try it out. 'Cause
yeah.
That's one of the few I didn't even get to touch. So I'm.
well, I got to
it's
play,
good.
I think 1 or 2 of the stages at Toth, but I barely even paid attention to what map I was playing. It only came to like, whenever this update launched and I saw screenshots, I was like, I think I played this at Toth. I remember it. But I didn't remember there's like a specific part that looks exactly like the raptor cage from Jurassic Park, which I thought was really funny because
Oh yeah.
immediately I was like, man, did they know beforehand, like, what kind of theme Valve was going to go for? Because they even have repeatedly made a reference to the fact that they're copying Jurassic Park, but this map seems to be
a
copying
total
Jurassic Park the
coincidence.
most.
Yeah,
I feel like that's probably the biggest reason why they picked it. It fits so well.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I was thinking as well.
It really
That
does.
is actually a death pit too. If you fall into the little
Oh my
raptor
God.
nest thing, it
Oh,
kills
God.
you.
It's
That's
entirely
that's the
possible
third stage.
that Valve might have stolen ideas from them, or at least been influenced by them. I know they talked about stealing ideas from Jurassic Park itself, but we've seen how Valve can turn around. If you remember the medic updates where there was the SFM video, and they showed us, like, a week before they were due to release it, they showed, like, what they had been working on up to that point, and it was dramatically different from the actual release video that they went with. So they can turn around an SFM really quickly, and maybe they decided, hey, look, this seems to be working really well. We had our idea of what jungle was going to be, but this could be really cool. Let's incorporate it in. Let's make it part of the actual theme itself.
I
So
mean,
yeah,
it's a possibility.
Freaking Valve.
wow.
Ideas.
Freak you,
Freak you,
Valve.
wow, software.
Valve.
Freak you, wow, software.
Wow.
Don't mock my accent. I'm not American.
We can move on to the
Perfect.
last one, Brazil, which I played.
Brazil.
I think they play. Wait, what?
Brazil.
Brazil?
Oh, so Brazil.
We played
If I can
this.
just interject really quick, I played this ages ago on some randomizer server when it was
Oh.
very early development. I have not played it since, but it was weird for me to see this on the page because I had like an epiphany of memories coming back from playing randomizer when I was like 16 or 17 years old on this map.
Really? That's interesting.
Yeah.
So that one's made by Ravage, and he actually hasn't been in the mapping scene for a really long time. So this is probably the exact version that you played.
Oh, okay.
Forever ago, yeah. I heard kind of through the grapevine as information was kind of trickling through the mapping community a little bit that they were having trouble contacting somebody, and I'm pretty sure it ended up being from this map. They were having trouble getting a hold of them because they were not in the mapping scene anymore. So it's cool that it got in, and it's actually like kind of an L-shaped, like 90-degree Koth. Like if Probed is an L-shaped 90-degree Koth, and actually Lazarus is also the same thing. So it's actually funny they have two King of the Hill maps that are both that 90-degree kind of symmetry to it.
Yeah.
It's a fun way to have a Koth map. I do enjoy it.
Yeah.
It's
I do enjoy. I do remember it, enjoying playing this map. I played it in 4s actually with Get a Whale, Josh, and Pazer, and that was like a year ago. And it was actually one of the maps I remember being pretty fun, mainly because the point is interesting. Like it's like a weird high ground next to a death pit, and you can stand on the battlements and kind of pester people off the point, and then you can push whenever they're kind of like forced to get off of it. It's interesting.
It's like a raised point that you've got to go around the back to get up if you're walking, but you can rocket jump if you're a soldier, and now pyro jump if you're a pyro.
Ooh.
The information that you're giving though, Crash, about it being not really, it's kind of like he just kind of threw it at them, not without really making a whole lot of changes. I think is really apparent because it's very visually the weakest of the
it
bunch.
definitely looks.
It doesn't really look like a jungle themed map at all.
So I think it's using the Borneo theme, so it's like the old theme.
Yeah.
The washed out sort of gray.
Yeah, exactly. And there's kind of a trend with TF2 mapping. Like if you look at the old maps, like the original TF2 maps, and compare them to now, there's a lot more vibrancy. There's a lot more interesting, kind of crazy elements to it. And this is more of an old school TF2 map because it was made a long time ago.
Muted.
It looks
and
a lot like
simple in terms of like colors and design, but I don't mind it. It just reminds me of older maps.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people are really like happy about that. The purists that want to preserve the TF2 art style.
Never change.
If it turns out this is the best play style or best playable map, then we can guarantee someone will do an art pass of it at some time in the future, and it'll look amazing and covered in, I don't know, seaweed or something, under the sea version of Brazil. Or snow or whatever it is that takes it. But yeah, I mean, like it's weird because it's the only map in this series that apart from, actually no, ironically I've seen the Valve one, but no, it's the only one that I haven't got any prior knowledge of. I've not played this one before.
I think it lends itself to what Crash was saying. It's just such an old map; it just kind of popped back up.
Yeah.
For me, it's such a marvel to get up to play on a map that I haven't played before. Wow!
See, that's an exciting map for me.
That's great.
Yeah.
And then like only the Valve map is like that. Like I've all but Brazil. I've like all these maps I play tested so thoroughly and was like giving the mappers feedback, and like I was active in the development of these maps in some way. So like I know them all like really well. I feel like.
Man, it's kind of a bummer that kind of takes away the excitement of day one a little bit, right? Because it's like not new to you.
I still got a Valve map, and I still got all these new props to play with, and all these new assets and stuff. So I'm okay.
I mean, we're only halfway down the page. We've still got the taunts, which we can segue into.
Yeah, we got to up the pace.
Actually, I should take off though, so at least I got my mapping section done. So.
All right.
Tragically,
Crash, thanks for sticking around, man.
Yeah, thanks, Crash.
Yeah, bye.
Cheers, Crash. I
Thank
love
you.
you. I'm also going to be scooting out of here. I got a bit of a MVM, but I was going to jump on the TSC servers and the TFCrew servers and play some of these maps. So
did we have those loaded up now?
Yeah, I think
maybe.
that's been being worked on in the background, hopefully.
Yep. Okay. So I'll see you guys in a little while, maybe.
All right.
Yeah.
Pleasure.
Bye.
Pleasure talking to you all.
Yes.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, Agro.
So hop on that server, but don't close the stream, because
Yeah, you better not close that stream. Don't do it.
Yeah, so
Number three.
I mean, it's not confirmed as far as I know, but the TFCrew servers should be running a rotation of these maps that we just went over. If not, then hopefully sometime soon. Maybe Ryan will be awake or around. I have no idea. Oh, it says he's playing
Yeah, I
Team
think he
Fortress
just
2 right
popped
now,
on
actually,
Discord, so-
on Discord, so he should be in there. And if they're not running those maps, then yell at Ryan to change them to those maps. If you don't know how to access the maps, you can look on screen right now, and next to the TF2 icon, it says play.crew.tf. You go to that site, that's how you get on the servers. So go and check it out.
Wow. Great professional overlay.
But don't leave the server yet, or don't leave the stream yet, because we're still going to talk. We still have half of this entire update page to go, and day 2, and day 3 later, maybe.
Sort of, yeah, we should just sort of rapid fire the taunts, I feel like, and try to...
Because the taunts, I mean,
Yeah,
like
that would
we,
be the most
I
easy
mean,
thing to do.
Yeah, they're not really high impact. They're just kind of a fun little thing. The
Let's go from-
Yeti punch, where they punch the freaking Yeti in the head or in the body. I don't know. Each class has their own way of punching them, but they only showed off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In the,
Yeah, about
in
half
the-
is too weak.
I mean, or no, there's a heavy one as well. I forgot about that one. But yeah, some of them they didn't reveal, so we're still gonna be able to find out a little bit more about that taunt in
So we didn't see sniper,
the
heavy.
future.
No, we did see heavy.
Yeah. No,
That's
yeah,
fine.
sniper,
We'll figure it out when we
NG,
get
Pyro.
there. That's fine.
pyro, yeah. So that'll be exciting. Then Yeti Smash, the second Yeti themed taunt, where you literally transform into a Yeti. This made me laugh out loud and yell. I remember yelling at the screen, "You transform into the Yeti!" Because like when I saw the screenshot, I was like, I assumed that a Yeti came out of the woodwork somewhere and smashed you.
Smashed you.
But no, you turn into a
You
Yeti,
Yeti.
somehow. Not
No.
really sure why.
I hate this one.
Yeah, I don't understand
I
it.
don't like
It's
it.
weird. There's never been a taunt like this before when
Yeah.
you turn into something else. So it was very weird too. Yeah, like when I saw this, I was like, okay.
It's going to be very
Well,
confusing for new
yeah.
players.
It seems so weird and out of place, but you know, whatever. It's TF2. It's a goof ass
Whatever.
game. I mean, we still have got that fart taunt that isn't actually a viable taunt we've discovered, but everybody's speculating that that taunt is attached to the flame the jetpack, which makes the most amount of sense to me. The next one is the dueling banjo.
Yeah, Dane, how do you feel about these?
I am excited.
Your taunts, my dude.
I mean, of course, I'm excited about this. The only thing I'm disappointed about is that in the description, and I remember on stream I was like disappointed about it, and it kind of let me down a little bit. That it says celebrate one of the 2 things everyone remembers from the 1972 hillbilly horror classic Deliverance. Now, Deliverance is a pretty decent film, but a big part of the beginning of that movie is where they're dueling with a hillbilly who's playing a banjo, and they're playing a very distinct song, a very popular song. Yeah, exactly. And I was like,
yeah, yeah.
oh, they called it the dueling banjo. Maybe they, I don't know, got the rights to that song. It's pretty old. They probably, I mean, the song's probably old enough to where it's probably in the, what do you call it?
Public domain.
In the public domain.
Yeah.
So
Possibly.
I was like, maybe they played dueling banjo, but no, it's just some random banjo song.
Yeah.
So
that would have been cool if they did. I do agree.
Yeah.
With that. It's still a good taunt though.
yeah, it is really awesome. I think this is probably going to be my most
It's
used
really,
one.
really well like animated and stuff.
And then the
I
jumping
also
Check out
like
the,
how I like how Sedimentary Socks, the creator, managed to get his little sparkle emojis into.
Oh yeah, yeah, it's part of his
outfit.
name. It's like
Yeah.
Critical Flaw got featured on TF2's page.
he probably gave it to him and they copy and pasted it. It's funny.
I'm sure, yeah. So let's move on to the Club Penguin emoji.
The jumping
The
jack.
jackhammer.
I don't know anything
jackhammer,
about Club
I just thought that
Penguin,
meme
but
was really funny.
But in the trailer or the demonstration, I was surprised with how fucking fast he goes. Because in Winglets,
I think it's default walking speed.
yeah, in Winglets animation, he kind of goes like conga speed. But in this animation, he's like kind of going regular walking speed. So it's like I
speedy
wonder
boy, look
I
at him
wonder
go.
if like this is legitimately an option for rolling out. If it doesn't slow you down in any way, you might as well. You know? Like I can just imagine it's just like whenever you're in freeze mode and setup time, because you can still taunt, you just enter the jumping jack taunt, and then you just walk to the front with your jumping jack. Like you don't. I mean,
wonder, yeah.
Yeah. I hope.
New meta.
Yeah, exactly. The Soviet strong arm, where the heavy is lifting, he lifts now. I
Oh,
think
we always knew he lifted. He's a strong boy.
yeah. I think the intro is cool where he like rolls the thing off of his arm. But
Yeah,
other
that's
than
the
that,
coolest
it's
part.
kind of an underwhelming taunt in my opinion.
Yeah.
It's kind of boring. Same can be
I
said
prefer
in my
the
opinion about
Proletariat
the
poser.
yeah, that one's a little bit more involved, but this one, these two are very themed. They're workout based, which will give me the idea that there will be a heavy gym, the heavy gym going on in Spawn, where
Oh
people
God,
are
that's
just-
so true. And we're gonna have one heavy in the back with the table taunt with the food for everyone waiting.
yeah, that'll be the protein.
Preparing the protein shakes. Yeah.
Hey guys,
like,
come
oh.
get my proteins made in a sous vide pot.
Oh man, if
really
that
good.
table had like a blender on it, it'd be like, man, I'm making you a creatine shake, dude, man, come on over here.
I'll put some wheatgrass in here for you. Okay.
Why does he have that accent? And then the next one is the head case, which is fucking weird to me because, I mean, it's obviously that it's a
cute in,
reference.
like a funny way, like.
Yeah, it's obvious that it's a reference to the fact that Pyro won the heavy versus Pyro update.
Yeah.
But it's, I don't know, it's strange to me.
It's
The
very strange.
redeeming factor that this can give is that if you're in Pyrovision, it's a cake. All right, that's as far as I go.
Dude,
Is
if
it?
they
Oh,
haven't
that's
made
cool.
a special version.
No,
of it,
that's
better have
that's not confirmed. I'm just saying that it would be redeeming in that way if they went out of their way to make that a feature.
Well,
If they
did
just
the
replace
original
it.
have that on like?
I don't think
Upload
so.
and Workshop?
I don't think they did, but who knows? They
It
could
needs,
have
it needs it.
they could have contacted him and
Does
said,
that.
hey, maybe you could do that. So
I wonder if it's gonna spawn a headless heavy with a hole in his chest when you do the taunt, because it's
No,
in both the picture and the video.
Oh, that's true.
Oh, you're
Well,
right.
Probably not.
Nah,
I
I
think
think not.
that's just a background
Setting.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then down at the bottom, we got a pretty cool SFM, or I mean, it's an artwork basically of of
poster.
Hale standing very triumphantly, and I thought that this little reference was funny. You know, in Star Wars and like He-Man or not He-Man. I like those old movies where there's like a
the
woman hanging.
Barbarian
Yeah,
thing.
the Conan the Barbarian. There's like a woman hanging off of his leg.
Oh, but it's a scout in this.
It's a
one,
scout, and he's like he's just cradling his leg like he's afraid.
Always the butt of the joke.
Yeah, Scout's a little pussy. Die,
Scout's
Scout.
Scout's a fucking wiener.
Wiener. And then in the background, there's a little bit of a tease. The Pyro is jetpacking into the air, so that's kinda
What?
cool.
And then there was the whole like. Actually, we know because contracts were revealed above that. Never mind.
Yeah, Miss Pauline holding a contract, which everybody already knew the contracts were coming at that point.
Yeah,
so
they
it was
confirmed it before. So.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to the layman who doesn't keep up on the
Sure.
leaks and stuff, they're probably like, whoa.
Dang normies.
I think that's
Speaking
pretty
of
much it
contracts,
for
do we
day
wanna do it?
one. I think we're done with day one, as far as I can tell. We've
done
we've
day
thoroughly
one.
dissected it in a little over an hour. Good job, guys.
Now let's do a little jingle for day 2.
Do 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 do.
Wow, is that a new taunt?
I just have it stuck in my head. Anyway, day 2, which was revealed a little later last night than we were expecting, which we were
When did
planning
it
on
actually
doing
come
a
out? 'Cause
live.
I was
missed it.
working.
It was
like
around
7?
7, yeah.
6.
It was around 7,
Jeez.
yeah.
Okay.
So it was a little
I
later
went
than
to
we
sleep at
expected.
3 a.m.
Yeah, that sucks. Sorry, dude.
I got woken up by my my phone just buzzing because everybody
Everyone was
was
messaging
all
you,
over
going
the
crazy.
Discord.
That's funny.
But when it first dropped, it was all of the images weren't loaded, so we only saw the text for a bit. But
Oh, wait,
they
really?
fixed. Yeah, for about 10 minutes it was like
No.
that, and then they finally fixed it. I think I have a feeling it was because everybody was just spamming F5
Spamming the
over and
F5
over.
button.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
still have my auto refresher going.
I'm just really confused on why, honestly, like why they chose to release it so late, because it
Very
seems.
strange.
Yeah, it's like you'd assume that they would have all this stuff ready already, but maybe
That's-
they
yeah, I
don't.
was
I
thinking
don't
that
know.
on
They
the
were just
Discord, like-
scrambling, finishing it. That's
Why don't
Yeah.
Why don't they have it like set up to queue and just post on its own at a certain time? But I guess they must have been having problems with it. Maybe that's why the images were broken.
Yeah.
Who knows?
made us lie in our tweet about streaming live reactions.
They did. Do we
Bastards.
want to do contracts last, since that's actually like the meat of the page, and just go over the items and stuff really quick? What are you feeling?
I'm just gonna go in chronological order, just so that I don't have to I'm afraid I'll forget something because I'll skip past it.
Okay.
we'll just go down. But anyway, the contracts. The biggest thing that's different about it, the way the contracts work at least, is that it's their own words. They chose to say choose your own adventure, which I guess this is something that they've been doing in CS:GO for a long time. I don't play CS:GO, so I know nothing about it. But apparently they ripped this completely from the way CS:GO handles their contracts.
That's fine.
It looks
CS:GO took our
extremely
traits and
similar
items,
to it.
so-
Yeah.
I mean, if it's not broken, no need to replace it or fix it, right? So
First we
You're gonna
took
be
their
like,
skins,
if
now
it
we
no
take their
broke,
contracts.
yeah, exactly. But what's cool about this, in my opinion, is that you don't gotta wait for Miss Pauling to call you every week.
That's the best part.
You get 36 of them, and you do them in the order that you are able to complete them, and you can also apparently pick your difficulty, which is good because me and Pazer were talking about this a little bit last night, actually. The contracts, while they are something to do for people like who are pretty good at the game, who basically don't have to even try in pubs and will top score, I mean, the contracts have never really been that hard. It's always just kind of like turn them on and then play the game normally, and then you'll eventually get the contract done. Like, you don't. I mean, you
There's
get
just a
stuff
free
like
reward for doing what you're
yeah, you get contracts like get a kill as spy. You know, it's like, oh, so I have to play spy in this pub. Like,
do that.
yeah, that's not hard. Like, it's just you play the game for a bit and you complete your contract. So, or it'll be like, oh, headshot a heavy for extra points. It's like, okay, so if I see a heavy, I guess
they
I'll
did
headshot him.
improve it a little bit in Tough Break, right? As
Yeah,
opposed to
they
the
made them
first
a little
one.
bit more specific.
But you could still just get kills and get points.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
had to sort of make a conscious decision to go for the harder ones and do it that way. That's what I did, and I had a lot of fun with it.
So
Anyways.
I'm excited that they're implying that there will be different levels to the difficulty, and I'm assuming, you know, for the lower level difficulty, I mean, I don't think you get anything different from it. So it's just kind of like choose it based on how bored you want to be, or how, because I mean, like
supposed
for
to be like fitting your play style, less about like rewards.
yeah.
because it's gonna be the same for everybody, which would make sense. But
So
they wouldn't change that.
I'm excited about that because obviously, like, I want to extend my experience a little bit and give myself a little bit of a challenge in public servers. So I mean, at the end of the day, I will definitely be choosing the harder ones, but I'm hoping the harder ones are a little bit more involved, like really specific, like, you know, get a bunch of kills while you're Uber charged or something, like stuff that hardly ever really happens in pubs, but you can coordinate with somebody to pull off if you really went out of your way.
Yeah, I'm curious how challenging they're doing it, because you know they say it's challenging, but they're
Yeah.
also talking to the broad audience.
Very
you know,
true,
and
very true.
I'm hoping there's some actual challenge for those that want it, especially with the thing that comes a bit further down about cooperating with friends.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
friendly
was interesting.
fire.
I'm curious how that actually pans out and works. Like, is it like they just feed into your contract when they do the same thing? Is it like, what I don't know. What is it? I'm really curious to see.
It says, for the first time, attack your contracts with co-op. Friends in your party and on the same server can now help you out with your contracts. In parentheses, while you give a helping hand with theirs. Any action they take that fulfills one of your contract's goals will count towards the completion of that contract.
Oh, but that sounds annoying. Like, what if I'm trying to get a thing done and like it just happens to be that's what the server's doing, and then my contract's fulfilled? Like, that would be really
Well,
not
Yeah,
fun.
I
See,
think
I'm-
it's
I'm
if your
also-
friend is in a party with you. Like, say that you and me, Jewlander, we party up, and I have a contract that says like get kills as spy, and then I select that contract to complete, and then you're also playing spy.
Okay,
Then
I
your
didn't see
kills
that
will
it said-
get like maybe your kills will get like
No, yeah, I get that part. I didn't see that it said friends in your party and on the same server. I thought it said friends in your party and people on the same server.
oh no
So
yeah
if it's only friends, then that's fine. That makes more sense.
yeah
That's interesting though, how they worded that: friends in your party, and then they added on and on the same server, as if you
kinda
can
running
be
it.
in the same party without
but
being
not
on the same server.
yeah
Maybe that's a hint that they're changing the party system in some way.
yeah that's very true.
Oh, actually, yeah. Who
Yeah,
knows?
I don't know how that would work otherwise, but
I don't know.
I mean,
Just
honestly,
something I
I'd be
noticed now that you read it out like
I
that.
would be very surprised if they didn't change the way that the party system works, because Jill
Very limiting, apparently.
had hinted towards that being a project of his back in January, and it's also a pretty big complaint about the way that it works now. So I would assume that would be a major focus, which we might find out more about that today, actually. So, crossing my fingers. Either today or
Staying up
tomorrow.
till 5.
Yeah. I don't know how late it's going to be tonight, but I don't think that we should. I mean, I'll definitely try and go live as soon as possible if people are around to discuss it. But otherwise, then we'll see. We'll see who's up. But moving on, blood money, which is something that you can get from completing your contracts, which is cool. It's like a currency towards buying what you want, what you actually want, because you're either going to get a random drop of a can, which we'll talk about later. We haven't gotten to those.
TF2 can.
But yeah, TF2 can that you can use to apply skins or whatever to existing weapons, or you can get currency towards buying something that you actually want, which is good because you can visit the Mercenary Park gift shop from your in-game PDA contractor PDA, and then you can load up on war paints and war paint cases. Oh, you can buy war paint cases. That's perfect. You also get a war paint case drops every week the campaign is active. Oh, so you get a free war paint case regardless. So that's cool.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah.
I think it's really cool that they do that because I think forever, right? Every time there's been any sort of drop you can get, it's always been 100% random, which you get. And this, at least here, you can earn like a currency and get, you can choose what
Takes
you
a lot
want
of
to
the frustration out.
It
which
does.
is good, in my opinion.
The frustration
just
was
so
always that you just got some random shitty thing that you didn't actually want, and it was worth 2 cents. So
Yeah.
back in Gunmetal,
And then you
the
have to grind
skins.
if you wanted anything good.
Well, I remember back in Gunmetal, pretty much any skin was worth a lot compared to how they are now. But I mean, like even the bad skins were worth at least like $1 back then. So now, but now they're worth like as much as a regular weapon. So whenever Tough Break rolled around, it was like even more underwhelming because you knew that
But we'd already had skins for a while.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
the
You knew
so
that
they
the
weren't like, ooh.
yeah,
no.
you knew you weren't getting anything worthwhile unless it was like factory new or strange or unusual.
Also, just to jump off of that with the whole factory new and like things being worthwhile, it was confirmed apparently on Twitter. I was reading this earlier that wares are returning. For
Yes.
these, unfortunately.
Gio was
is-
telling me
Yeah.
about that earlier.
I really don't like that. I don't think it has any place in the TF2
Yeah, a lot of
economy
people,
and weapon base.
a lot of people are upsetty about that.
Well, it's just all it does is it overinflates the value of the ones that actually look good and just adds a bunch of ones that don't look good.
Yeah,
It's just kind of useless.
Yeah.
That's just my
It's like more chances to get a shitty thing.
yeah. It's unnecessary garbage basically.
yeah, it's
Which
very obviously a way for Valve to increase monetization on their stuff.
Yeah.
So, but
Thanks
Gotta
CS:GO.
open more cases.
yeah, but Warpaint, I love this system to be honest. I love it because it adds so much more control to what you get. It makes it so that you don't have to wait for the exact weapon that you want for the skin you want. Because I mean, you could get the exact skin you want on a weapon you're never going to use. So this is great.
Also, I like
Yeah.
the whole you can't like it gives you a new one, so you don't have to use something you've already been using for a long time or like such or other. Like
Yeah.
they made a really good point of that too, that it just
I
gives you a
mean,
new one.
yeah,
of
one
that
that you
quality.
don't
Both
have.
like that and don't like it because it's
True, there is a
cool.
little bit of like I can't prettify my amazing weapon I've had for years that I
Exactly,
love using.
Like I want to put it on my
But-
strange professional kill streak.
No, I thought
rocket
you could. I
launcher.
thought you could do that.
No, as far as I understand, you cannot do that. And
Like, so for instance, if I get a pizza skin, I can't put it on my existing.
maybe actually, now
Rescue
that
Ranger.
I think about it, maybe you can because it does say even one you don't already know or own, right?
own. Maybe you could do both.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Maybe
Yeah,
it's not
I thought it was both.
exclusively-
Yeah. I forget who it was who was saying this.
Because it does, Warpaint means you don't have to sacrifice any existing items in your backpack by modifying them. It says you don't have to, but it doesn't say that you don't.
Yeah,
Doesn't say
you don't have
you
the
can't.
I
So
forget.
maybe you still can. Yeah, that'd be nice.
I'm sad because I don't remember who it was. I want to say it was Gilles who said that he was asking about it, and what the way that he understood that it worked was, say you get a shortstop skin, you can either apply it to a shortstop in your backpack, and then if you don't have a shortstop, it will generate a shortstop for you and apply it to that by default. Now, whether the skin paint or the paint that you have is strange or not, say you apply a strange one to a shortstop, then it will make it a strange one. stuff like that. Oh, VNN said it. That's who it was.
It's sort of up to interpretation, I guess.
Or Casper. I forget. Yeah, I don't know.
It does say, like Chad is pointing out, that it does say an entirely new patent, or like a patent item. Like,
Yeah, but I mean, like, it's new to you because it's patterned.
I don't know. I feel like this is something we're gonna just have to wait and see because that's such a
Yeah, it's-
specific.
it's
wording
unclear.
thing. Yeah. It would be neat if you could like, because this would almost just from like a trading perspective, it gives me an interest in like, okay, well then if you can apply it to unique items, right? But only unique ones, and like if it has like a strange or unusual, it'll be like then a strange unusual one. Then there would be a market for people who buy the professional killstreak unique items and specialized killstreak unique items that people usually just kind of waste them on because
Yeah.
they're usually like, oh well, I just put it on a unique because I don't have anything else, and everyone's like, well, no one's gonna buy that. But if you can put stuff on it to create it as like a strange unusual professional killstreak, that would be cheaper. I don't know. That'd be interesting if you could.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope so.
We'll see.
Because if say I get really lucky and I unbox a pizza skin that's unusual for and then I can put it on any of the weapons that is able to be applied to. I can apply it to my existing Rescue Ranger.
From the way they worded it, though, I don't think it works. Like, if you get an unusual skin, you can put it on a strange, and you would make it a strange unusual. If that makes sense. Like, I think you'd have to have the
I
same
guess.
type that would correspond with what you already have.
Yeah,
Because
maybe.
if it's applied to it and it makes it, it would be it would devalue them a lot if you could just get a strange and put an unusual on it to make it a strange unusual. Because they specifically said like a stat track or unusual or like both.
Yeah. You're right.
I just want a battle scarred pizza skin whip. I think that would be really dope.
Greasy whips.
Do you have any favorites from the skins revealed?
I really like the pizza one.
I'm sure you do, Dan.
The cardboard box one is pretty
Well,
entertaining to me as well.
The bamboo one looks kind of neat. Star
Yeah.
looks good too.
I don't know.
Oh,
A
yeah,
lot
I
of,
like
a lot of
some
stuff from the
looking
Jungle Jackpot don't really look that
minimalistic
great to me.
stuff. I agree.
I tweeted my favorites. Follow me on Twitter if you want
Besides
to
the
see.
bamboo. Nice promotion, dude.
I
how do
really
you
like
guys feel-
the tiger one. That's
Yeah,
my
I was gonna
favorite,
say the
think.
tiger one's good. But how do you guys feel about if you scroll down, Dane, the very one on the bottom? That's like the rarest type, the Dragon Slayer or something. How do you feel about that one?
Dragon
It
Lord.
looks all right. Everybody's
Yeah,
making the
dragons.
Dragon Lore joke. People are like, you can apply to your op, but I don't see the op in this big pile of weapons. Because I think it says war paint
See, they
applies to
did-
all of these weapons, and everybody's all really confused about what they mean by that. Because I think it means literally, if you see it in this pile, then it can be applied to it. But I don't think it
That's
can be
what I was
applied to
thinking.
I've
anything
actually
else.
gone through. I've gone through and counted how many weapons are in the pile, and I think I found 29. I didn't really spend a lot of time trying to,
Did it
make
say
sure that
somewhere
that's
that it
correct.
was 40?
Yeah, it's almost 40. It says somewhere near the top of the page. So I don't think all the weapons you can paint.
Yeah, some
Are
of
in
them are
that
probably
pile?
buried underneath in the pile.
Well, maybe-
I think they're just kind of
Yeah.
being cheeky.
Here's what I think, because it says that they're replacing skins completely. I think maybe in addition to this pile, it means all of the weapon skins that are skins right now, such as the stock weapons, like rocket
That
launchers and
makes me
stuff.
really happy,
Because
I
if
wanna-
you come down here and it has a
yeah,
bunch of the classic war
glass,
paints
yeah.
as well. So I mean, like,
Yeah.
if they're getting rid of skins completely, doesn't that make all the existing skins that you get from the cases right now?
Super rare.
Yeah, because I mean, you wouldn't be able to get them anymore. But I don't know.
Well, you can still get them from cases that have been previously dropped.
Yeah, well, I mean, I thought they were replacing those. Like, for instance, whenever this update drops, whenever you open those cases, you don't get skins anymore. You get paint.
Oh, you're right, because it does say classic war paints, and it shows some of the older ones.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it just replaces the
Interesting.
skins with
I didn't
war
think about that
paints.
or see that actually. Huh.
Yeah, so I'm glad I've
Okay.
been hoarding all of these cases. Yeah, so interesting.
Oh,
Yeah, we'll
someone
see.
in
That's
chat
another thing that I
pointed
think-
out inspect animations as well. We don't have inspect animations for any of the non-stock weapons.
Oh, you're right. So those
Yeah,
must be
maybe-
coming in with them.
Yeah, maybe they'll make it so that you can do inspect animation on any skinned weapon,
Honestly,
including,
I hope so.
including
I've hated the
Australians,
fact that
hopefully.
it's so dumb.
I hope they make
Mhm.
an...
Yeah, that's the one you want to check out the most, right?
Yeah.
Wanna see your mirror image in the golden pan.
Or even weapons that are just have something cool on it, like the robo skins, like the robot ones.
Yeah.
Um,
Right.
The loot that you can get, the special loot, probably my least. It's probably the most underwhelming part of this thing is where you can get like a hat that makes you look like a Yeti if you're on the heavy class.
Is that gonna be Halloween? Like it seems like something that would be Halloween restricted
Exactly.
in a Halloween update. Is that just gonna be in the game now?
I think so. It doesn't say it's Halloween themed, so
Yeah,
that's hilarious
maybe
to me.
maybe it's Yeti season.
Maybe here's I wonder if this is going to be the Halloween update big surprise. Is they're going to make it so that nothing is Halloween restricted anymore?
I would fucking love that.
Because last Halloween they made it so that
Finally.
all of the Halloween themed update or the Halloween themed stuff that they added was not Halloween restricted. So maybe they'll just retroactively make everything not Halloween restricted anymore. That'd be great because I'd love to wear my Dadliest Catch all year.
There's a lot of Halloween restricted items that I think
The
would be
Saxon hat
totally
is
fine.
pretty neat, but there's already a sniper hat that looks very similar to this, so it's kind of interesting. This is
Yeah, it's
probably an all
incredibly
class though.
similar. It's got like a few more teeth on it.
Oh, I guarantee this is an all class hat. Yeah.
Yeah, and then the Yeti Park
new
hat
Manco cap.
that we saw on the SFM, it's pretty neat. It kind of reminds me of the it reminds me of the
Manco
Manco cap.
2.0.
Yeah, it's Manco
Basically
cap.
a reskin of the Manco cap.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
the LS cap and all the other caps.
Yeah,
Can't get enough caps.
and then these
Can't get enough.
cases for these cases for the what do you call them? Cosmetics. I can speak. The artwork on these cases is awesome. The crocodile and stuff. The Yeti biting the wrench. Looks great.
Wait, where are we? Oh, the new boxes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and the crocodile's doing it too.
With two separate keys. Why do they do that? Explain that to me. Economy.
Well,
the
certain-
reason why would be that they have enough cosmetics to fill 2 different cases.
Yeah.
And
But
in
why
terms of,
not
like,
just
how-
make a Yeti key that opens both of them? Like,
The
More
only
money.
reason I can assume is just to make it a little bit more differentiated and at the same time restrict people, so it's like almost a money kind of thing. If you think about it, because like that means that people can only buy a key for each case at a time. So maybe they like end up hoarding the wrong type, or they have a certain kind of case and they have to spend money on this one, and then I don't know if that makes sense.
sneaky Valve.
And then down at the bottom underneath this is a little fashion show of all of the new cosmetics. A lot of like jungly like tribe hats. I'm noticing, pretty neat.
Yeah.
Um,
That jacket that the sniper is wearing, that's my favorite. I gotta get that
It
one.
is very cool.
It's
I
super
like
dope.
the beard that he's wearing as well. It's nice. The spy in his box has a little bit of a flower crown going on, so maybe he's got that Snapchat.
It's weird how
filter.
they hid him in a box and still managed to sneak a cosmetic in there that we could see.
Yeah.
Good job.
Also, the engineer has 2 frogs. He's got a frog on his shoulder and a frog in his pocket, which I think is pretty cute. I like that.
Too many frogs.
And then the
Never enough frogs, man.
And then, right before we talk about the big elephant in the room here, we can talk about the fact that that Heavy is holding a banana, which has been on the workshop for a ton
Sandwich
of time.
reskin.
Yeah, everybody is like, "Oh my god, this
One,
banana!
actually.
It's a
Such
new weapon."
Great point of stuff.
Probably
It's-
just a sandwich reskin though.
yeah.
Let's talk about the fact that the Heavy has a banana in his hand.
Well, here's the
This
thing.
made me laugh.
Yeah, out of context, like if you weren't a part of this community, it would be so funny to be like, okay, big deal here. Heavy's holding a banana. What do you guys think about that? Like, what are these people smoking
So
crack? Like,
funny.
what the hell? But the banana has been on the workshop for a long time. Everybody's been like, oh, it should be a new weapon. You eat it, you throw it on the ground, and then it's a banana. People can slip on it. I don't think that's a good idea. I think that it should be a reskin of
No,
it's already.
it's just gonna be a reskin.
But here's the thing. I don't think it should be a
I
reskin.
am still praying for
I-
the banana peel slip.
I don't think it should be a reskin of the sandwich because we already have
You're
a
gonna say
bunch of
chocolate bar, aren't
sandwich.
you?
Yeah, I think it should be a reskin of the chocolate bar, to be honest, because there's no chocolate bar reskin. There's already like 2 or 3 sandwich reskins.
No, there's the fish cake, isn't there? Or does that replace
Oh
the
yeah,
sandwich?
no, that is
it's a fish-
Yeah, fish cake replaces chocolate bar.
You're
It
right.
should, it should
Buffalo steak sandwich.
replace the steak. Yeah.
That would actually be
no
funny
coffee
because
in it.
Isn't there like a banana rage?
yeah, because he eats it and he's like, I have potassium
God.
overload, and then he fucking punches everybody.
Plus 50%.
Dane, the heavy,
in 30 seconds.
the heavy can continue Slim B's legacy in TF2.
Oh my god,
Oh my god!
that is a Slim B item for
Oh.
sure.
I'm gonna rename
Good.
mine immediately to that.
However, we could be getting debated hard here because the soldier was eating a banana in the SFM. So, I mean, But it's very heavily
All-class
implied.
new weapon?
Yeah.
The lunch item for soldier.
Yeah. Maybe it's a multi-class thing. Maybe the soldier can also eat a sandwich.
Maybe it
Multi-class
replaces the
snack.
shotgun. You shoot bananas at people by squeezing it really hard.
Like it's a weapon. Like it's a,
Yeah, it's like a bunch. So
Oh.
there's
Squeeze
6,
it.
right? And then he pulls out
Please.
another bunch from
no.
behind
You right.
him. For
Here's the
6
thing.
shots,
You right click
and
to
you
eat
squeeze
it,
each one.
or you can use it to fire a banana at somebody. And-
Yeah, there
and
you
they-
go.
And they take
Dude.
100 damage.
Can I get a
Redesigning
banana headshot?
everything.
Smashing it into someone's head.
Banana headshot.
Banana headshot.
Hey, can we replace the spies ambassador with a banana, please? Thank you.
All right.
Maybe that's what they're doing.
Let's address it, Dane. I think it's time.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
This pyro model is holding what looks like a mix between a vacuum and a leaf blower. Now, we ain't never seen that in this game before. This is a new weapon, boys.
We never seen that. I
So
really like the way you said that.
so I think that's pretty cool. They're teasing a new weapon here, which is interesting. What do you guys think it does? Everybody's like, oh, it's obviously it's a leaf blower, so it's air blast based. So I don't know how I feel about that because air blast is already fucking annoying in this game. So I mean, should that be? Is that a good idea? If so, if not, what else? What else could it be?
That's honestly, it's really hard for me to come up with like a concept because I'm more curious to see like where are they taking the pyro because I feel like this is going to directly tie into that.
Mhm,
Yeah,
So we know he has more mobility. So I am just gonna make a very general statement. I think it relates to that.
Yeah.
I really don't know. It's like so hard.
People
It
have been
looks
saying
like
that it
a-
looks like a fireball launcher.
It kind of does.
Dude,
It's got a
that's,
really wide
I
end,
kind of
yeah.
got that impression as well because the muscle, what's it called?
Yeah, it's huge.
Shooty hole.
It's
Yeah,
giant.
It's a big shooty hole.
Yeah,
Looks like a cannonball would be coming out of it.
yeah.
So a long
What
time
if-
ago, people were playing around with the idea of the pyro being able to like suck up projectiles, right? Like,
Yes.
Yeah, I was gonna
Suck
say
up,
that like a Baker's
rocket ship.
bazooka, but like reverse kind of concept has been floating around for it.
Right?
So maybe if it's a fireball, maybe you have to like suck up projectiles to charge the fireball, and then you can shoot the fireball. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
that
it doesn't-
replaces
you know,
the air
if they did
blast.
that,
That'd be
they would
interesting.
have like a big
Yeah,
bag
'cause it
attached.
just nullifies
attached to it.
the projectile instead of reflecting it, and then it gives you like a nice attack in return after you do a certain amount.
And then
could
it
be
goes.
interesting.
vroom.
Crash did say in chat that Jill did send him a fireball gif. So,
Oh, you.
however, on 9.6 he did send Pazer a gif of a man jumping out of a window. So,
So confirmed. All the glasses are
so all the
going
gifs
to
that
die.
Jill send are very relevant to the status of what is going on.
Sounds really neato.
Yeah, I think that's actually a pretty decent idea. It instead of air blast, it sucks up projectiles and then you can fire them back at people whenever you want.
I
I think
just
that'd be interesting. Yeah.
just want to be able to say the word "suck" more in relation to TF2.
I can imagine people renaming this thing just suck and with spaces in between and
SCCC.
yeah.
just like Orisa in Overwatch. Suck ability.
We need more Overwatch-based characters in this game.
Yeah.
Everybody's speculating, and here's the thing that's interesting. About an hour after this page was live, they updated it, and all of a sudden, whenever he moused over the parrot, his head got blown off.
Well, yeah, and he's got like 3 little sniper dots, like a predator reference
Yeah.
or something going on there.
I don't
So maybe
fully
new
understand
sniper
why
reset?
they would go out of their way to do that, but maybe it's just...
Wait, so
gotta
this
be
was
hinting at
added in
something,
later
correct?
on.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Or
didn't
was it
do that.
enabled or something
It didn't
later
do
on?
that later, or it didn't do that at first, but it could have had something to do with the fact that the page was broken. It probably was intended to do that from the beginning, in my opinion.
You never know. Is it an intended thing? Is it a bug? You never know with Valve.
You never know.
Very true.
But
You never know.
people are like, what does it mean? I think it's just a prank. I think it's just a little funny joke. I don't think it has anything to do with anything. However, on this iPad that they're using back in the 60s somehow, there's 2 different contract folders. One says Mercenary Park, and one says Pyroland. Now,
Yep.
what could that possibly mean?
Join us on day 3 to find out.
Honestly,
To be continued meme from JoJo.
this is like the
My
obvious...
least favorite meme, by the way.
This is an obvious hint to something, but to me, I don't know what it is. I honestly have no clue. And even if it's nothing, I won't be disappointed because everything that I'm looking forward to is not related to that. So it'll be just a surprise. It'll be just an extra bonus thing that I didn't expect. So
I actually tried to go into Photoshop and sort of enhance the picture at the top.
See if
of
there's
it.
anything in the background.
Yeah, like the contractor at the top of the page where you can sort of see all the missions and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Oh
Everybody's like, oh, it
Didn't
says
work.
free for all. It's a new
Yeah,
game
yeah, I
mode,
saw that
guys.
one.
It's a new game mode. I don't
And
know.
also says like boss CP. I figured like I think that's what it says in like the yellow little bar over the cap.
Oh.
Boss CP.
Boss CP.
I mean, CP would make sense, but I don't know what boss would be.
Yeah, like contract points. I
Maybe
don't
it's
know,
like the
yeah.
final mission in like the contract line is like called the boss contract. I don't know.
It's obviously for when you fight
at
the
the wall
Yeti, you beat the boss and you get CP.
Oh, then you get his head as a cosmetic.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, this is interesting though. I'm excited to see how those contracts play out in terms of like rewards and like actually if they're difficult, kind of like we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
It's not boss CP, says chat. Well, what is it then?
Yeah, what does it say? If you guys are all experts.
Yeah. If you're so good at reading.
But I think that day 1 and day 2, I mean, honestly, like, so far we've already gotten like 1.5 full like days or full updates basically, like the equivalent of what I would expect from like a 6 to 8 month waiting period, like typical kind of waiting period in between updates. Like I would have expected this
Considering,
amount.
like-
Yeah.
Considering like what we got for Meet Your Match and Gunmetal and type updates, this is very much so far in line with what we already got. So I'm excited to see what else we get for this.
Yeah.
Besides balancing changes, you know, there's 2 days worth of stuff ahead. So I'm assuming those are just 1 day. Who knows?
Yeah. I mean, if the next 2 days are anything like the ones that we've already got, then this is already the biggest update forever. So it's cool. They've really put a lot of work into it, I can tell, just from the graphics that they've put. I'm hoping that in-game will be just as impactful. And I know that Jewlander and I don't know about you, Freddie, but so far, I mean, this is all great, but you know what we really want, right, Val?
You know what we really want.
You know what we really want to see.
You know, yeah. You know.
I just want to find out
I know.
what they did to the pyro and how they are improving competitive. Those are the two things that I care about in this update. So maybe we'll find out more about that today and tomorrow.
The stuff that they've showed so far, maybe sort of apart from the maps, is just like fluff, right? It's just
Yeah.
flavoring.
Yeah.
And the balance changes and all that stuff is what actually matters. Nothing really matters. It's a video game, but you know what I'm saying.
And Sombras in chat is making the very apt reminder that actually the update drops tomorrow. Can you believe it? Tomorrow.
Yeah, today's day 3,
Maybe.
guys.
I mean, today's day 3, and we're still
Technically.
waiting on day 3 page, which could come in the next 12 hours.
Yeah.
But I mean,
At some
day
point.
4. I mean, after day 4 page drops, I mean, we're gonna be able to download it and play it tomorrow.
It's live.
I'm so excited.
Oh
Dude,
my
I'm
god!
so
I just heard
hyped
myself
that
shout
they're
from
releasing this
monitor.
update 2 days before I leave for California for a week.
What?
So good. Yeah,
Are you really? Why?
yeah, we're gonna go visit my boyfriend's family for Halloween. We're gonna go to like Halloween Horror Nights and stuff.
Man.
The 28th.
I mean-
Screaming either.
That sounds fun too.
And
It is
Banny
fun.
said that on day 4 he's going to TwitchCon, so he's not gonna be able to play it either.
Yeah, and TwitchCon's happening this weekend too. So
looks
yeah,
like I'm
guys.
stealing all his viewers. So
Losers.
yeah, I'm glad I didn't go to TwitchCon. Now I was considering it. I'm actually
worked out
really
really well for
happy
you, didn't it?
because I was just like, I
Frick
could,
you,
I
Uncle
could,
Dane,
I could
you're
go, I
gay.
could not go. I was just basically down to like me deciding if I really wanted to walk around TwitchCon for a while. I don't have anything really to do there besides maybe meet up with a few people, but I mean, now I'm glad I didn't go. This is way more important to me.
TF2.
What do you think is going to be on day 3? What do you What are your predictions? I mean, we know what is left from what they promised, but what do you think will be a day 3 reveal? What do you think is kind of like a reasonable thing to expect?
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I was just talking to somebody in chat. I'm thinking day 3 is gonna be. I want to say the balance changes. Or
I think
actually,
balance
no.
changes are 4 actually.
No, I think balance changes are 4 too. I think 3 is going to be changes to matchmaking and competitive. Yeah, and then maybe
That'd be
revealing
cool.
the weapon.
I have a feeling it's going to be all pyro focused, like just all
That's
about
what
the
I'm
pyro.
thinking
Like they're
too,
gonna
give him
reveal
one day.
all the new weapons and the new pyro changes, and maybe something to do with that pyro land thing. Because typically, okay, so far the tease at the end of the update pages has been you scroll down to the bottom and you see Miss Pauline holding a contract. So the next day, contracts, right? And then at this one you scroll down to the bottom and you see Hale holding a thing, and it's very, very prominently the only thing that's really even noticeable about this is as Pyroland. So I think tomorrow is going to have something to do with Pyroland, and by that extension, the Pyro. So that's my prediction. So today we're going to find out about the
Maybe day
think-
3 is all the parrot stuff.
Parrot.
Pyro. The parrot.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's the parrot update.
That's
now,
something
guys.
to do with the parrot.
The P word.
Maybe the reason the parrot's getting his head shot off is because in Pyroland he actually gets his head turned into a cupcake.
I was about to say that.
You were about to say that?
Yeah, I was about to say cupcake, man.
Really?
Yeah, it really was.
Well, it's the perfect size.
Yeah, it is.
The parrot update. It just
Sorry,
whatever
guys.
animal anything is referencing in this game, that's the update. The mammoth update, the parrot
Make
update, the Yeti update.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's make the parrot update the new meme, right? Suit on
Yeah.
our tips,
The mammoth
right?
update was like,
Sure.
I was just like, man, you guys are desperate for a meme, dude. You're stretching it. He's like,
Oh, yeah,
because he
and
said
people on
mammoth in the
Reddit-
thing.
I saw the mammoth. In the
Yeah.
background. They're like, "Oh, we got the meme made, guys." I'm like, "No, I'm pretty sure it's the other way around, actually." I think they made the mammoth.
It's like, wow,
That's
the
bad.
word they used in a blog post and then we said a couple of times was then also in the video. Holy
It's like,
shit, we
man, that
did
video's
this.
been rendered for like a month, dude. There's no way. They just put it just
yeah.
happened. I mean, I think they just used the word mammoth on purpose as like a reference. That's my opinion. I think that they got baited. That was not a reference to Reddit, guys. You guys just
Whatever
were,
they,
you were on
whatever makes
brand.
them happy.
You just happen to be on
You were
brand.
on brand. The prophecy was already true. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You know, the idea
Yeah,
was inceptioned in their heads.
Well,
That's pretty much everything that we've got to cover so far. That's it's really out here in the public as information we can look at.
Yeah.
yep.
So just get hyped for day 3, guys.
Yeah. I don't think it's coming anytime soon, but
Nope. I would say at least 5 hours, probably.
yeah, at least.
Ah,
At least, considering
many
yesterday was
hours.
7 o'clock.
Sorry, what time is it
release,
for you,
yeah.
Freddie?
it's 10 p.m. almost.
Oh, that's not that bad.
Well, yeah,
It's
you're
not
gonna be
that
up.
bad,
You're gonna be
but
up
for
right
hours
now,
I'm gonna be a
But
little
you're
bit
gonna be
sad.
asleep,
Yeah.
probably.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Well.
I'll wake up in the morning, like Christmas morning, day 3.
Well, I think
No live reaction stream coming up, by
Yeah.
the way. If anyone does that, it's gonna be on Dane's or Jewlander's or anyone else's
yeah.
personal.
It probably won't be on. Yeah, it won't be on the TFCrew stream.
I don't think it'll be on
I don't think I
mine.
can gather enough people. I'll probably try and throw something up.
Yeah,
Whenever it launches. It depends actually, because tonight
be at
I
work.
found out yesterday that the RGL match that I thought I was gonna play in yesterday night or last night.
It's tonight.
Yesterday night is it? Yeah, they moved it to tonight. So
At least it's not tomorrow.
we're playing that at 6 or 6:30 tonight. So
It's
maybe,
probably gonna come out while you're playing
Yeah,
the match. Then,
yeah, I'm gonna be like AFK in spawn looking at it.
It's pretty much What's why?
Maybe
is
I'll
the
just
match-
stream the match.
Bro.
I'll ask Melee if I can do that. I know that he doesn't like people streaming matches though, so I'll find out.
Well, hopefully
He
lets
probably
you.
doesn't care. It's RGL after all. So
Secret matches.
yes.
All right, I think are we ending it all? Are we done here?
I think we're ending it all, guys.
All right, guys. I have a gun. Do you have your guns? Are we ready to
I
go?
have my gun ready.
Fucking hell, that got dark.
We're ending it all. So.
All right, we're having a suicide pact on stream.
Right, yeah, I didn't realize going into this, but fine, yeah.
Valve, if Pyro Update doesn't come out before 4 o'clock, TF2 is
Well,
That was a bad joke.
any shout outs you guys want to make before we end the stream? Probably gonna hand it off to Agro if he's still streaming. You
Yeah,
guys
I was
can go
gonna
and
say
play.
pass it off to Kritzcast. I'm
Yeah.
gonna stream a bit later. I need to go eat lunch, so I'm not.
Yeah,
gonna
me too.
stream
I'm
it.
gonna go get lunch as well. Yeah. Anybody?
It was
Any
fun.
shout? Yeah.
Check out all
Follow-
our shit on
yeah.
the internet.
Follow
check
follow us
all
on
of
Twitter.
the stream on Twitch and Twitter, and I think our usernames are the same. Uncle Dane, Jewlander, and Freddie. Freddie TF2, I think, is your Twitter, right?
Yeah.
Well, I'm
First,
technically
check us
Dane
out
Kevin
on
Cook,
TF2.
but I'm sure you could probably find me.
Yeah.
Just Google it.
Anyways,
Such an obscure
you guys.
search.
Yeah. Thanks.
See you
for
guys
watching,
later. Thanks for coming out and watching us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Bye. Bye.
Bye.